right. Very, very warm welcome on the stream. If everything is working correctly. Good evening. Welcome to the 10th anniversary convoy for ProMods, and that is an insane amount of time. I'm your host, Krulex, if you can hear me properly. I am community manager at TMP. I would like to just give a little quiz for the people in chat, people that are watching. On a scale of 1 to 10, how's your day been going? How about that? Little icebreaker to get us started. Hello, hello. And while we're doing that, we're here with a few of ProMods' head people. So if you'd like to briefly introduce yourselves, and we'll discuss what we're doing for the evening. And we'll see if all the sound works, of course.
Yep, it does work. Hello, I'm Plum. There's still some issues. Oh, Nico's unmuted himself.
Next person.
No, I thought you wanted to say a little bit more, Plum, because you helped a lot here in organizing things, but alright. I'm Nico, and some people might know me as one of the founders of ProMods, which I am, so. Who's next?
Hi, I'm Wandelsoft. I am one of the admins of ProMods, and I'm actually the guy who keeps the things running on the technical side on the map. And I'll be your designated co-driver this evening. I will just keep an eye on the chat, and I'll read your questions if there are any in there. Okay, next. Not everyone all at once.
Unless these are our main people, that's all right. You'll be in the passenger seat. Right. So, well, we're warming up and having people here. Nearly 300 people in game. Frames are suffering. If you'd like to go over where the convoy is, where we're heading to, and any other information we need to know about before we proceed.
Oh, is that like a question to us, or?
Yeah, just...
Yeah, so Svartwolf, is a big shout out to Svartwolf, who organized the entire convoy and has been working closely with Truckers MP as well on making sure the event, like all the event management stuff is done properly. We are beginning in Tromsø in Norway and then heading all the way over to Murmansk in Russia.
Lovely. Right.
So if anyone still wants to introduce themselves, maybe we should go down from the top of the list for now. So
Indeed, if they are here, we may be hearing a few other voices throughout the stream, but maybe not immediately, so it's up to them. In the meantime, if Svartwolf is around for the bit that they'll be doing, if we're going to go over that, regarding something special for the players.
Checking with him quickly.
So we do have some work we can show what we are actually working on just before we leave, and
we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
I was just checking the frames in game. That looks lovely, but everyone is used to that. Right. So.
Oh, I just got a message. Svartwolf is going to announce it in a minute as well.
Okay. We're looking at a particular folder if you want to go over that first.
I guess maybe it'd be nice just to begin with, I don't know, do we want to begin with the biggest quickly? Just a little teaser to get people thinking.
If you want, which folder would that be?
That will be the top left folder.
Okay. So, oh, microphone issues, careful. If we go through a series of pictures that we have in here, There might be hints towards things. There might just be things we want to show. So, do you want me to just run through the pictures?
Yes.
Okay. And see if anyone can pick up anything, or pictures of note. Anything like that.
Yeah.
Very mysterious pictures, hey?
Some lovely scenery, I suppose. It looks quite nice. But what could they be for? That's for the chat to try and work out. Probably looking at a few road signs. That's natural.
Sweden, Spain.
Indeed. Bit of Italy down there.
But what could this all mean?
What could it be? We'll have to wait and see. We won't be revealing that just yet, I think.
It is going to be a bit of a mystery, but something for you people to guess.
All in due time. Right. Shall we move on to the next one?
I think we could probably announce the competition again now.
If you want to go over it for what we're doing, because that bit is for in-game, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, so, well, we're giving away, there's a few exciting giveaways happening, and if I just quickly check, we're giving away DLC for the best looking truck, so, we will be keeping an eye out and wait till the end of the stream where the winner will be revealed, so.
There are many trucks to look through.
There's a lot of trucks to look through. Like, how many people are on the server at the moment? Is it still over 300 or
300 and something? Nearly 300 of them are here. Pretty much everyone here.
Yeah, I think I saw 300 on your screen, crew, like 300 players near you, so that's a lot.
This is
We have,
impressive.
About 200 watchers.
So the prize, just to confirm the prize, the prize for the best looking truck will be a trailer pack DLC of your choice. So that is the
Ooh.
prize for the best looking truck.
Well, but I think it's not just there are two categories of best looking truck.
Yeah, so there's a few categories.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, go ahead to share the full list. I guess you have it in front of you.
Yeah, I do. So I'm just looking at the list again just a moment because there's such a lot to give. The largest VTC attendance will be there'll also be a heavy cargo pack DLC, which will be given away by the VTC eternally. Best VTC parking formation will get a special transport DLC again for the VTC to be given away internally, and then lastly the best looking truck as a VTC for the VTC. So for VTC will be a tuning pack DLC again. So these are just for the in-game though. There's we'll
There's of course also the best looking truck just in public if you're not part of the VTC.
exactly.
That's also trailer pack DLC of your choice. So basically there are 4 prizes that we give away in the game.
Let me just copy and paste into the chat as well.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah. And there'll also be plenty of prizes given away to people watching, so make sure you keep tuned and watching because there's a lot of stuff to give away.
Oh man, I was like, let's quickly paste it into the chat, but of course the formatting is not.
We'll share in the Discord as well.
Typical.
And the winners will be announced at the end, so after the convoy. So make sure you stay till the end because that's when the prizes will be given.
A lot to look out for.
Exactly. And
Awesome.
that's not everything because of course not everybody will be able to join us in the game. So for the people who are of course watching the stream, keep tuned because we are giving more things away during the stream. But it's of course for you to figure out later what that's going to be. We're not going to spoil everything right now.
I see also the public parking seems to be full, so they have to move people across to the road, it seems.
I'm being very careful keeping my camera away from that. There are a lot of people there as I flew over it.
Yeah, my
insane.
game was a bit struggling when the stream started. Like there was like an overload of audio and video and whatever, and lagging. It's quite nice to see how many people actually took their Sundays or maybe even their Mondays off to just join us in the game. That's like so awesome.
Indeed.
I see that you're flying around as well, so nice.
Just seeing
Nice
who we
views.
have. If you see yourself, big pog.
Exactly. I think right now the Truckfest part is going on, right?
Yeah, so
Schedule.
really thank you everyone who attended it as well. So many of you. It's pretty incredible, actually. I'm sure for Nico, like who's been there in Mandelsoft from the beginning, like the seeing like the growth must be quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, today actually marks, of course, the 10th day exactly, the 6th of August at midnight. We released the first version. I don't think anybody ever really considered it taking off like this. I mean, we of course had a vision and some ideas on how to improve the game, but I guess what we did a lot of people liked, so that's great. And I mean, it's probably the same for Truckers MP, right? When their whole project is also completely focused on providing something unique to the game.
Exactly. And at first, of course, you're not aware of how much growth it can have and how far it can go.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, you always start with the first milestones, right? Having 100 people sign up, having 1,000 people sign up, having 10,000 people sign up, having 100,000 people sign up, and then it goes towards 1 million, and then after a while you're like, well, are there even that many players? But I guess there are, and I mean, it's the same for Truckers MP, right? I think I read somewhere they had like 6 million.
Indeed.
People
I think
signed
earlier
up.
this year we
That's
passed
crazy.
5, and we're already fairly well into 5 million, so that's insane.
Well, there you go, man.
Exactly.
That's insane. And then, of course, it's really cool that like a few years ago we came together a bit with Truckers MP and then ProMods, of course, where basically since then Truckers MP started hosting our map as well,
Yes.
which was really awesome.
That brought in a lot
I
more
guess-
people.
I mean, I guess it was a good deal for both of us, right? Because Truckers MP was always like everybody was spamming them, like when are you going to support ProMods, and we always got lots of questions why they cannot play multiplayer with it, and well.
It's probably the only mod that's bigger than ProMods.
Truckers
Much
MP.
And
I-
big margin.
I mean, I wouldn't even call Truckers MP like a mod, right? It's almost like a game on its own with everything that's in there and the complexity. And I mean, I don't think there are not that many big MMO projects that run like completely on just random people, not on companies, right? I mean, even SCS now, of course, moved towards Convoys, which is, I'd say, a great alternative next to Truckers MP. But of course, it does not give the same experience as Truckers MP can give with massive MMO. Because
Yeah, I think there's a few more people who want to introduce themselves now.
all right,
But,
okay.
So I think Tedesco, if you wanna.
Yes. I have... My microphone is working, right?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Very clear.
Okay. Awesome. So, yeah, I'm Ted. I'm fairly new to the team. I joined, June last year. I hail from Brazil, and I am just a developer working mostly on the Great Step and ProMods Middle East. And, yeah.
Awesome.
Also, some work in the Caucasus region. It's mainly where I work. I got some screenshots. If
We could go through those if
Yeah,
one.
let's do that.
yeah, if that's
Yeah.
fine, I can.
You can
I
hear
see,
them.
like there's someone in the TMP chat says Ted has a nice voice.
He does. There you go.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a lot.
Ted ASMR when?
Mm.
All right, so in Ted's folder, a few pictures.
I
So,
can go, I can pinpoint what everything is.
okay.
Well,
So, if you
anyone
want to
wants
describe each
guess-
picture, or while I flick through them, if you want to generally talk about what they are.
Yeah, I was thinking of if that's okay, going through each picture and maybe people can try to kind of guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's okay. So, yeah.
Right. A castle structure.
All
in
these
this first one.
pictures. No. Well, this is. Let's see first where people say. Well, the flag there is quite obvious, but what the city is, people might not know.
I was thinking people were saying England.
Come on.
Well, if you're not looking at
it
the
kinda
extra
looks
little,
like it.
yeah,
If you
But
squint.
nah, this fortress is actually a very popular landmark in that country. This is the Gori Fortress in the city of Gori, which is one of the biggest cities in Georgia. It's located right in the middle of the country, basically, and it's not that big of a city, but it's quite important for the region. And yeah,
do you know when this was
this is
built?
one of the.
A bit of lore to talk about.
Wow.
Going back quite
Now you
far.
got me. Let me see. Well, I would say it's somewhere. I have no idea actually, but as you can see, it's very old.
Indeed, right.
But it's open. I do know that it's. I've been there in real life. I can say that. This is it's open basically all year. Every year is open for tourism, so you can visit the fortress inside. You go inside, and it's quite nice.
There's a little church type within it as well.
Yes, it's inside. There's it's more like it's kind of difficult to describe. This is a fortress, but inside there's like a little town of sorts. So they got churches and even houses and some other things. But
Right, if we go to the next
it's
picture.
mainly just it was yeah sure. Let's go to the next one.
Bit of a rest area or a road, it could look like. Just a through road.
Oh wait, hold on, it's loading for me. Oh, I do know where that is though. Let me get
I should hope so.
let me get the screenshots. Let's see. Nah, don't worry. Okay, so this is this part here is actually in Gori as well. This the picture with the advertisement there. It's in the main avenue. I mean, one of the main avenues of Gori that takes you to the west side of the city. So you can't see it, but behind this, all these trees is where the fortress is. So when you drive right next to those trees, you can actually see. And right on the left, there's a river with a bunch of footbridges that take you to the kind of residential area. Yeah, that's it for this one.
Awesome. Ooh.
Let me see. I'm just find.
Almost looks like a real life screenshot. It's quite nice.
Let's see what they think and where they think this is. This one's kind of hard to pinpoint.
I'd be very impressed. Bit of geoguessr knowledge, maybe.
Oh yeah, GeoGuessr pro player could guess this. That's for sure. Let's see what they say. Yeah, these are Caucasian mountains, but where exactly? Yeah, it's gonna be impossible to pinpoint. This is the East 60 road. It's actually like the old road because they're building. You can't see it on the screenshot, but behind the screenshot there's a construction going on. So they're extending the highway, the S1. That's how they call it there. And this one takes you like through cuts through the mountains. There's a lot of tunnels, and it passes through villages. It's quite nice. But it's gonna become it's not gonna be used anymore because unless people from the village want to use it, the village is under the highway. But the highway is kind of gonna make this obsolete. It's gonna go above this valley. So yeah.
Of course, we'll be able to use it, won't we? That'll be a nice road.
Yes. But once the highway itself in real life is completed, maybe we'll have both roads
That could be interesting.
accessible. Yeah.
Right. Next one?
Yeah, next one. Mm-hmm.
Bit of a broader picture.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what they say.
If we summarize these as well, because we're near departure time, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of... This is a rest area right before the entrance of Tbilisi, the capital. So there's going to be a service area there, as you can see the icon there. Right over there where you can see the signs is the highway, which takes you... It's the same highway I mentioned, but this stretch is completely done. So a lot of people are using it to go from like Tbilisi to Kutaisi, which is a city more to the west. But yeah, this is right in the entrance of the city.
And then is this bridge or on the right also a part of a highway?
Yes, it is. If you go north, that you're facing north here. So if you follow the road north, you reach Russia. But if you go east, you reach the capital, and if you go west, you reach Gori and Kutaisi, the other cities, and eventually Podi, Batumi.
Awesome.
But yeah.
All right.
Next one.
Okay, we have one or two more. If we do this one quickly.
Yep. Hold on, it's
Even I'm looking around, seeing what I can find.
Oh, I think they're departing now, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
we
so
can
yeah,
go over
I'll be
those a
quick.
bit. Yeah. Maybe
this
somebody around.
these last two screenshots are from Tbilisi, the capital.
That second one looks very nice. Good scenic views there.
Yeah.
All right. Lovely.
I guess I talk too much.
Well, no, it's good to go over things. Okay,
This is a characteristic of mine. But yeah.
Right. Any particular leaving order for us as everyone's crowding out now? I'll feed in somewhere.
I'm getting around 2 FPS leaving the convoy.
I have
Departing at the
7.
moment.
A whole 7.
So it's someone's birthday chat.
Yeah, I guess.
Gamer, so happy
I-
birthday.
I guess once we are going, it will be a bit better, right? And it will
Yeah.
stretch out a bit, but we just gotta get through this part, unfortunately.
Oh, I see that. I think it's you, Crudex, that's having a Veldwinter trailer.
I am. I haven't got any of the new DLC ones on this profile, so I thought I'd pick something that kind of matches my truck anyway.
Well, as you guys may know, is that in 1.48, SCS actually introduced a delivery spot for Veldbinder in the German town of Winston.
Ooh.
And I am happy to announce that for the next release of ProMods, we've managed to actually merge these new areas of Germany into our mods. You can actually pick up and deliver the Velbinder site in the next version.
Damn. Would it be similar to the Crone facility that was added a few versions back? Sort of picking up types of trailers, or?
I think it will be similar, yes.
Awesome.
But it is just like the Crone DLC. You can't go there if you don't own the DLC associated to the trailer.
Mm.
So it's actually one of the two DLC areas within the base map. So, but also like the Crone DLC, you don't need to have the DLC in order to play ProMods. It's completely optional.
So in your version, you'll be fine to visit it without?
You can't visit it because that will be blocked by the DLC, but the game won't crash. At least you will still be able to load it. It's and also it's not like it will just block you from using it.
Maybe you could observe it from the outside.
Maybe.
I can say I've left the laggy areas now. It's much better.
Waiting for the lag wall.
Same for me. It's getting better now, so that's great.
Oh yeah.
I think there was a few other people. I don't know if they're available at the moment because of the departure, but there was a few other people who are going to introduce themselves. I think Grace and G Race actually, and
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Joe. Yeah.
Whatever you call me.
No, please introduce yourself. Tell something about yourself.
So, me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, I'm a developer, of course. I'm happy to join this convoy. It's not like I'm gonna say more than that because I mean we don't have any pictures to show, and I'll tell more when you're gonna show some pictures. I can like say where it is, what I'm developing and stuff. Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy.
Exciting.
Thank you.
I think Joe as well. I don't know if Joe's here at the moment.
Yes, I'm also driving at the moment, but I'm Yus. You may also know me as Yusen. And I'm one of the newer team members. I've been with the team for 5 months now. And I'm currently responsible for the Project E6 merge with ProMods. And I'm also making something new, which hasn't been announced yet, but will be announced now.
Ooh.
The part I'm
Nice.
working on is what we're gonna be driving through actually, near the Russian border in northern Norway will be reworked, and all of northern Russia will be reworked, and it's coming along very nice already. But you're gonna have to be patient about it.
Very nice. You shall be.
I think maybe it'd be nice if Mandelsoft could introduce some of the people from the ProMods team in the YouTube live stream chat who maybe aren't able to make here at the today. Or
Yeah. So, some people that were on the live stream is Sam from France, and he is actually working on Paris, just a complete rebuild, and was also responsible for other tweaks in France. And in the next version, there will be some touch-ups in France. So maybe it's also something to look forward to. I also see Nathan in the chat. He's also one of our moderators, and yeah. Sorry.
he's had lots of smaller things though as well. He's had lots of Quite a large variety of things, doesn't he?
I was about to say, like, Nathan is moderator and then basically does all these other small things that need to happen as well next to it.
Yeah.
I think loading screens are definitely worth
Oh,
mentioning.
yeah, of course, the loading screens. He often does the loading screens.
There's so many
Yeah.
stuff I can't even list all the stuff he does. He does a lot of like obviously the marketing side of things.
Yeah.
I think he did some stuff with overlays as well. Like lots of really important things.
Yeah,
But
of course, the overlays for the roads and on the map. Yeah. So he
For
makes
instance.
sure that all these overlays look consistent.
oh
It's
yeah, and
crazy.
signs.
It's crazy how much we take that for granted. All the little things he does. Everybody's like, oh yeah, he does that too. Oh yeah, he does that too. It's like that's true, man. Nathan does actually.
And quality control for sure.
And it's
Oh
also-
yeah, for sure.
It's basically the story of his work is nowhere and everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's like so typical for our team, right? If you want to do stuff and you're passionate about it, you can just do whatever you want, and then everybody just fills in their role. That I guess comes in some way naturally. Well, that makes always fun, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
I wonder, expanding upon that, if someone does wish to join you,
Yeah.
maybe developing or moderating or something, how would they go about doing that?
I could answer the question, but I'm not sure somebody else would like to answer it.
Well, the thing is with ProMods, to join the team, you don't really just yeah, right. We actually select the people we want to join, and usually it's people we notice in for instance, on the forums or on the Discord chat. And it really depends on what you do. So if we see, for instance, if you see some active members that are actually acting responsible, then we may make them moderators. And if you show, and of course, we have to show us your work section on the forums and in the Discord chats, and where people can show their modding capabilities. And of course, we also have our modding help over there. If you make some stuff that we really notice that looks interesting to us, then we may invite you to what we actually call the academy, and this is actually a triad area where we can try to we can give you some more guidance, but also to test the waters if you actually really fit in our team. And the thing is, fitting our team is not only on technical skills, but also the how it works on the social level. So it's not like, so it doesn't mean that if we can, for instance, trust some people with certain responsibilities, or if they communicate well. But yeah, it's not really a straightforward process. But there are still possibilities. But the main thing is you need to get yourself noticed.
Yeah,
I joined.
Yeah, I would like to expand a bit on that, because like there are of course various roles, right? So I'm not sure how clear the distinction was within the story of Mendelsoft, but you of course have developers. And with developers it's always a bit tricky, because like we don't really have any onboarding process, or we don't have much in the way of teaching people how to do things. There's just no time for it. But we do have the knowledge to help people get to the next step. So if you know the basics and you want to learn more, then start by joining the server and take information from people there who can help you out. And if you respond well to that, then we respond well to you as well. And that could be, of course, a path to becoming a developer. But of course, when it comes to moderation or testing, it's a bit different, right? I mean, that's not about developing or the editor. And especially with testing, I mean, a lot of people report bugs on our systems, and if you do that in a good way, At some point, we basically are like, oh, maybe we should add him to the team because then he can immediately report the bugs to the system instead of us having to do the middle step. So when you want to become a tester, then just basically putting up tests and delivering good quality reports can bring you to the next step of becoming a junior or senior tester.
I want to say,
moderation, yeah. Go.
some people also kind of like work their way up then from tester, isn't it? So they begin as like junior, then the senior, and then also sometimes like into moderator. I think there's a few members who came through like that, right?
I mean, with the way of working up, it's a bit like, as I said, like we don't really have much of a HR or anything, or people managing that. It's I'd say Nathan is again a good example here, right? I mean, we call him a moderator because that's how he initially joined the team. Actually, I'm not even sure. I think Nathan initially joined as a tester, but then of course your interests change, and well, if you want to do other things once you're in the team, it's of course much easier to swap around. And yeah, like with moderation, if you are helpful on the forums and we are looking for new moderators, then of course people that we notice in a positive way, I should say, right? We also notice people in a negative way, and the chance of getting invited is a bit less, of course, but people we experience in a positive way, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
those
if
are
you-
the ones that get selected often for these kind of things, yeah.
Yeah, for instance, if you want to join the team, do not ask. That's the first rule. Do not ask to join the team. That's usually
That's not a
the quickest way to actually disqualify yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You will probably not get noticed in a positive way. And I mean, you don't always have to get noticed in a positive way. I mean, the good example, of course, is how Mandelsoft joined our team. Because basically, Mandelsoft, within the first few days of the release, he was like, oh, you guys did horrible work here, and it's so terrible here. And I remember how Skull, because back then it was just me and Skull, how Skull was like really irritated about that guy who always complained about everything and said that everything was wrong. But Skull just responded like, well, if you're such a know-it-all, just fix it yourself. And then Mandelsoft, and that's a bit of the problem with Mandelsoft.
I was like,
challenge accepted. Yeah, exactly. So, and then he was like, oh, okay, I want to do this and this. Let me figure it out. He figured it out, and then he showed it. And we were like, oh, that's really nice. You figured it out. That's something we would also like to figure out. And then I'd say, I would, yeah, let's just call it negative attention, of course, turns around into very positive curiosity. And wow, I mean, 10 years later, or like almost 10 years later, and he's still around. I mean, those are, yeah. It's a bit like the question, like how did you meet your friends, right? How do friendships start? I mean, I never applied to one of my friends to become their friend, but somehow we ended up being friends. I mean, I'd say that's pretty much the same as how it goes in ProMods. We are just a bunch of friends who have a common interest, and if you fit into the friend group, then at some point you'll probably get invited and you can hang out with us and do the things you like.
And back then, I guess, like what Mandelsoft was doing initially was actually quite revolutionary, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he had some good, yeah, exactly. He had he had some great ideas back in the days about how to build up the signs in a better way, because especially like the first ProMods, like, I mean, it's the 10-year stream, so it's a good time to look back, right?
Exactly.
Because like the initial version was, of course, just focusing on Scandinavia, and I wouldn't say that the first version was much revolutionary to begin with. It was just building up north, and the game was relatively new. There weren't that many players yet. There weren't no DLCs yet, so it was really easy to just build up north.
The scene was also still in the infancy, so there was only a few German maps, I think.
That too. I mean, to be fair, like I think what was it called? The German map.
There's TSM. There was.
TSM. Exactly. Those were big maps.
Ricecorn map.
I'm not.
And the only one that's now still around, I think it's MHA Pro.
Yeah, exactly, Alex. I don't speak to him much anymore, but even back in the day, we used to speak a lot. he had his own projects, and I think he actually long ago did like one city for ProMods, this kind of thing. Actually, like the first 6 months, the map was called Scandinavia map. Or I think we only thought of the name ProMods like a month before the release. So, talking about different times.
And what was also a thing was, back in the day, it was just one single map build module. No sectors whatsoever, so no proper possibility to work in parallel.
Yeah, true, but like before that came an issue, it already changed. I think even the first version was already, I think sectors. Or the second. I mean, SCS really quickly ran into the same issue as we had, of course. And then they, of course, have to fix it because they had to fix it because it's their game.
I think it's also mentioning just how much the map editor changed over the last 10 years. I think people don't realize just how much like updates and features it gets like every update, which aren't even spoken about much in the patch notes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For instance, what you are seeing now, we're driving on a road and it has these Norwegian road markings. In the earlier versions of ETS2,
that was impossible. Yeah,
that was impossible. You just had a procedural generated road with procedurally generated road markings, and you just had to do with that. But nowadays, these roads are now in so-called road template models, which is just a small section of road where you can put on any marking you want. So that's how we and SCS as well get these road markings more accurate for each country.
I mean, with many of these areas, I wouldn't say that we were first because that sounds a bit elitist, but with a lot of things we ran into the issues, like into the technical issues first, like Norwegian road markers. That was already immediately in the first version a problem because we built Norway and Sweden as well, right? And I think when we continue further, I think we hit like borders before SCS did, so we had to think of ways how we could solve that within the current technical limits, but that it's still believable for, of course, the people who play it. And then, of course, a year or 2 years or 3 years later, SCS would run into those same technical issues as well, and they, of course, have the resources to fix it, and it's their game, so they can fix it. But it's always interesting to look back at now, especially with how big SCS has grown. I mean, the first time I went to Prague was like in 2014. SCS was like, I wouldn't say it was a small company, but it was like very manageable, I'd say. And now I've been there, I think, like 5 times, and the last time it was like, it's now multiple floors over a huge building. It's like, I guess even for SCS, they no longer everybody knows each other. Like the company itself grew so huge, and so did the game as well, and all that time we had to adapt to that. So yeah, I mean, like in the last few years it's become harder and harder to keep in front of SCS, but on the other hand, it's still possible for us to deliver certain things that SCS would not deliver, and just remain there as another experience for people to enjoy. And luckily people still find us and enjoy us.
On the other hand, SCS also really ramped up their mapping quality.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we had to do it as well, and they had to do it. It's like it's sort of a rat race for us.
And now it's actually getting really hard to get up to those mapping standards again, because the new techniques SCS uses are really time-consuming, especially with the landscaping. But it looks so much better.
I mean, when I look back at it, when I like the first version of ProMods, I basically built like everything myself, and then Skull built a lot of designs and other details around it. I mean, those were the days where it was possible to build like a city within 2 weeks and build a road relatively easily. You didn't have to worry too much about the details because there wasn't that much available. Now the same process takes like 5 times, 10 times as long. I mean, that's just reality. Yeah.
Some cities like a development for years now. I mean, I won't name any projects, but there's one very large project which has been in development for so long, and it's been so long where the stuff has had to be reworked again because it's just been like the game has evolved so much and the techniques have evolved so much. I mean, I have a question for you guys. Like, what do you guys think was the most significant like feature for the map editor added to the game? What do you think?
I think if you want to go for the early features, it's the introduction of sectors. That is the main thing that allows parallel working. Without that, a lot of map mods also wouldn't be possible. You wouldn't even be able to combine map mods. So that is incredibly significant.
I mean, the list of the feature, oh man, it's that's a good question, man.
But
I'm not sure. Like, for instance, we got some other developers here as well, right? I'm looking through the list. Oh, actually, we got a lot of new guys here, so I'm not sure how long you guys have already been working in the editor. But I mean, can the new guys, can they, for instance, think of a world where like the content browser isn't there, or think of a world where let me think.
You couldn't edit the individual vertices of the landscape.
Yeah, for instance, where there's no vertex editor, that's a good one.
I remember that getting added. That was I think for me, because obviously I haven't been there for as long, like I think 4 years nearly now. I think vertex editor was the biggest for me, at least, because that was just like a complete game changer. And I think SCS has really like used that now, especially with landscapes. It's completely changed previously, and you just have so much more creativity with like all sorts of things now. A lot of things have become a lot easier, and more bugs have appeared as well. So little gaps have become a lot more common.
I can remember the time where you couldn't even brush prefabs. So prefabs were just one terrain texture.
Each year's amazing features were added to the game.
It was also still the case when Italy was developed. So when I was working on that. There were some prefabs where I couldn't brush it, so what I did is put a bit of terrain instead, so a terrain item, so that I could brush that instead. But that was a bit of a hack solution. But it worked.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, that was always the way we worked at ProMods, right? I mean, if we cannot get it technically done, we will find some way to hack it and get it technically done.
Yeah,
I mean,
This also hints on one thing, that it also ProMods did change my life in one significant way, and that is that I actually worked for SCS themselves and actually went to live in Prague for 2.5 years. So, but it was mainly due to my work at ProMods, and actually that we actually also became a known entity within SCS that actually gave me this opportunity. And of course some other...
I mean, it's not just you, right? I mean, right now we still have like two guys who started with ProMods, and basically they now live in Prague. They have jobs at SCS. They actually both have like they're both living together. They have like properly built up a whole life, making good money from a skill they learned from a bunch of let's call ourselves socially awkward guys, because that's of course what we sometimes are, because we like to talk about road signs and about roads, about things that people normally don't really care about, but they somehow developed that skill, and before you know it, they have a future because of it. I mean you in the end of course came back to the Netherlands, but the others, I mean, there's still two guys there. It's crazy if you think about it. That just
it's a third.
It's a third as well.
I think so. I don't know. I don't think they're particularly active anymore. But I have a feeling there's a third person. At least who did work for ProMods in the past. Too.
I mean, there's a third one who is like not working for SCS, but did like a lot of internships there because he's.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, that's true. But I think it's only like two guys who are like really.
And even nowadays, even when I'm just back in the Netherlands again, and have a full-time job, I still do some stuff for SCS from time to time.
Exactly.
So, yeah. For instance, if you look at the Austria reskin, I did all the signs. All the navigation signs there. I try to make them authentically ugly, like they are in real life. So there's a lot of variation between those designs.
I'm not sure how many Austrians we have in the chat, but Mandelsoft just gave his opinion about your country's sign. So now it's up for you guys to give your opinion about Mandelsoft, I guess.
They are ugly, but they were a lot of fun to make.
I mean, like, I talked about it in the past with Pavel. Like, you can pay people to like build roads, etc. But and up to a certain point, of course, they produce really nice results. But the people who really do it from their passion, those are of course the ones who create like the most realistic stuff. Like for instance, Mandelsoft, he gets all excited about being able to as closely match the ugly signs of Austria, as he calls it. I mean, that's only people who are passionate about what they do are going to that length. So in that regard, it's really cool that SCS gave you and the others who are still working there the opportunity to basically come work with them.
Yeah, and sites are also one of the things where you can easily work in Easter eggs.
That too, yeah that's true.
There's actually one that's hidden in plain sight. So on the old days, whenever you have a road that's blocked off, SCS would just put in X's on the sign, or in the old system, or tape all the destinations off. But at one point, SCS said the amount of tape on these signs is excessive. Can we do it in another way? And then the idea came from someone else in the team to just tape off the arrows instead. So that's what they are doing now. However, one place in Germany is still taped off. And people who from Germany may know which one.
I think I know which one you mean as well, yeah.
Okay, I just point out we've been driving for how long now? Like 20 minutes, and the end of the convoy is only like is still nowhere near being departed.
How many people are now in this event server? Like 300 still, or?
I think 350.
That's crazy.
342 to be exact. That's
all right. Wow. I'm not sure how many people in the server are watching the stream, but if they are, write something in the chat of the TMP. Let's see if something pops up in my screen. If you're close enough to me. I'm curious if people are driving and listening to the stream.
ProMods podcast.
Yeah, I should make a podcast.
That's what it sounded like. I was just enjoying your sort of rambling on about the history and such.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good as well.
I mean, I'm not sure if we should start a podcast because, like, that's one of my pitfalls. I can talk for like hours and hours about those things, and I mean, others should also have the opportunity to say something.
Maybe you can have like an exclusive in-game radio station. How about that?
Did we finish introducing everyone in the chat, by the way? I think there's a few more people we didn't cover.
Yeah, there's Horizon. Horizon has been actually nowadays the main driver behind the Great Step. So the Kazakhstan add-on. So.
I mean, not just that. I think all over
Middle East, especially.
Yeah, that too, but also all over the Baltic states. Yeah. I mean, he's of course from the area, but he did so much work there. I think from time to time he carried those projects there.
Yeah, but I think the whole Great Step thing needs to be a special mention because he also was in contact with original author and 09KZ. So.
And I think also we looked at Oh, you're still gonna say something? Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna mention. I think it was Scan 720. With a lot of the stuff in Germany, like München and Frankfurt. He helped with like Frankfurt a bit, and he did a few. Like he's working on some very big projects at the moment. So quite a lot of stuff he's also done in Germany, and I think there's. I don't know what else. Mandelsoft.
I'm just come to think of it. What he's what else he has actually also worked on. So I will join on that. But I'm sure he did work on something else.
I know he's working on a very big project at the moment, so for quite a while.
Yeah, but he said explicitly that today will not be the day that we share much about it, but make sure that you follow.
Sorry, then there's two. There's a second one as well, which I think.
Oh,
yeah,
there's another.
Pretty much. Well, Potsnan. That's the other one he's been working on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course, Potsnan.
Oh, he's continuing the project or the cursed project.
Yeah, the cursed project. How long has it been in progress? 5 or 6 years?
I don't know, man.
Years. Wow.
It's that cursed.
It's not continuous development. Don't worry about. Don't worry that it's. I mean.
That's actually the main problem. Why it's cursed.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, like if.
Oh,
Yeah,
go
go
on.
ahead.
Oh, you finish.
Oh, I mean, no. Yeah, okay, wait. What I want to say is like, I like reflecting back to like the 10 years. Especially people who have been long around in the team, their lives are also changing a lot. So where in the past we were able to like work for hours on a day on the project. Now for some people it's it's already a miracle if they can just find like 1 hour a week for the project, because like once you get older your lives of course start changing and your social lives start changing, and then that's just how life goes. And then of course we have those other people. I think you said it, he joined 5 months ago. Basically for them their journey at ProMods is just about to start. But I think he already met up with Mandelsoft and Volleyball for Life. I'm not sure if Volleyball for Life is in the chat, but they already met up in real life. So that you can see how quickly those things go. And I would almost say like the new generation is ready to get sucked into the ProMods project and the ProMods hive. And then in 5 years' time, their lives will be so different again that the new generation needs to take over again, basically.
It's interesting also how like the project has kind of evolved from like the beginning, and I mean I know even in the 4 years I've been there, like so much has changed. I mean, we got the community server.
Oh yeah.
Got that was never there before. I know initially people were very against, like they were like forms are the rules, and then things change.
And so then there's still quite a big age range within our team. So
And I mean.
Yeah, there's some that are just 14 or 15, some of the newest developers. I am 31, and I think our oldest developer is actually in the 60s. So that's quite a big range.
Yeah, it's such a wide range actually, which makes it quite fun as well. Like, it's not just different cultures; it's also different generations that come together, and they all share a common interest. And to be fair, it's like with a lot of those projects, I think VTCs can relate to that as well, but Truck SMP of course can relate to that as well. It's any form of community on the internet. It's crazy to think about how the internet enabled all those people to come together to enjoy this. This weird obsession we have. Let's just call it a weird obsession, right? Driving trucks around Europe, building roads.
I think it's actually become a bit more, I wouldn't say mainstream, but you see it more now as like I don't know, it's just become more common now to hear the name like Truck Simulator, and like people, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I no longer really have to explain what it is anymore. It's like half of the people in real life when I talk about what I do next to work, etc. I'm like, oh yeah, it's for Euro Truck or American Truck Simulator, and like half the people, they actually know the game. Some even own it. Quite interesting how such a small genre, such a niche product actually is this I want to say available, but this known to people. Let's use that word. That's quite impressive.
I've even seen like videos like pop up on social media, and they got like completely unrelated, but it's something from like ETS2 or ATS, like a video from ATS, and I'm just like, wow, it's like, yeah, it's spread a lot.
I mean, I love this meme Okay, I'm now going to describe a meme on the live stream. I'm not sure how smart that is, but it's about like video games make you violent, and then you see the guy driving potatoes to Berlin or something. I mean, those are just. It's so funny how basically for anything there is in life you can make a game. And then you see those pictures of those real-life truck drivers who have like a setup in their passenger seat for in the brakes to drive a truck. I mean, that's just so great to see that those kinds of things are nowadays possible with technology.
Or when you see all kinds of things that have happened during the trip, like driving over child, causing 300 crashes, almost causing World War III. Delivery status tolerable.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the Amazon standard, right? Oh boy, now we get demonetized.
Yeah, and I also see some other people joining into our chat, some form of team. One of the guys that's joined is Razortoft. Razortoft is one of our team members that actually went to work for SCS full time. And
yeah, man, the Razor story is cool.
Yeah, he's working now on ATS mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I was also involved in that, just getting into contact with the people at SCS because I was still working there, and that made the communication a bit easier. I just set the portfolio, and then he got some. I was asked to come over there, and he was just 18 and just old enough to get a job legally.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also helped him with moving over there, but yeah.
I also see in the voice chat we have a few more people as well now.
But yeah, so yeah, but yeah, he is now actually living his life over there, and he seems to be enjoying it. And I think he also got a relationship over there. So.
Yeah, I mean, like last summer we had the meetup, of course, in Prague, and I think he did the restaurant recommendation. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, if he didn't, you can just take the credits because I think you did. And yeah, I mean, like he could already say so much about the city. It's crazy to think about how such a small thing that started years ago has evolved to that. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I would have ever dared to make such a step to like go on my own to the Czech Republic. I mean, Czech is not an easy language. You're young, you go there alone. I mean, that's a big step, man. But
yeah,
you pulled it off. That's crazy, man.
It was a bit scary, actually. So it was a really big step, but. If you look...
That restaurant was good. I see Nathan writing in the chat about the restaurant. All right, it's good that I'm not the only one who enjoyed it.
Yeah, and yeah, so I can still remember it. And although I'm now back, I haven't got any regrets that I actually did it. So it was quite a good time. Those years I spent there, but at one point it was just enough.
I mean, I personally couldn't do it, man. I just have too much of my social life here in where I live now. But I mean, yeah, to make that decision to go somewhere else and try to build up a new social life, man, that takes character. I don't have that, but I mean, it's respect. Regarding other people joining the chat, I also saw, I think, Elite Gamer in the YouTube chat. I mean, he has also done so many projects in the team.
A lot in Czech Republic, I think.
I mean, I don't even know what list.
Brawn up. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, but I think didn't he also recently do some work on the Turkish part of things, or was that?
That was Emre, I think. But I'm not sure.
The other. I mean, these days we have, I think, 2 Turkish developers, right? Well, for a long time we had none, and then it's it's quite it's quite nice. So
I think in the voice chat we also have Romanian Stefan and
oh yeah,
Quick C from the Czech Republic.
all right. I don't know if you
Trying to
guys
see-
want to say something. Yeah.
Just wanted to say hello, guys, and welcome to all the people on the Convoy and the YouTube. This is really great. I really love the atmosphere in this voice chat, and I hope that it could happen more often, not only with such occasions, but yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. And I really love to be part of the ProMods team, which honestly it's something great that I didn't think could be happening in just a game. I don't know.
Oh, that's nice to hear, man. I think you also only joined like a few months ago, right?
Yes, I joined in May. Yeah, 10th of May.
Oh wow, it's well. I mean, you hear it, right? He likes it, so that's a good sign, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, what's the current project you're working on?
Right now, my full project is Romania, like you already know. But
Exactly.
the current one is Bucharest rebuilds, which I'm basically working on rebuilding the SCS Bucharest, making it more touristic sites and including, for example, the old Palace of Parliament from the older versions.
Oh yeah, that probably got removed when the DLC came out, right?
Yeah, it's 4 years since then, and I really think that Bucharest could have more potential from SCS.
I think so too, man. That's always nice, right? When I think you're now you're not our first Romanian developer, but now you're the only active Romanian developer.
I think I'm
And-
the second one, because the
Yeah.
first one was Murphy, but I don't
Exactly.
really know what happened with him.
I mean,
Again, the real life stuff, you know.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
kinda like-
I mean, I of course still have him on Facebook, and I know how he's enjoying the life, and I think he got married a few years ago, and he works really hard. But yeah, I mean, at some point, lives just grow apart, right? You get other interests. You need to spend your time differently. But that's also when, of course, the love for Romania stopped a bit because there were no other developers who would take it really on, and then you came around, and now Romania is getting some love again, which is always great, of course, when locals want to improve their own countries. So.
I think it's also mentioning people who come back after many years, out of nowhere. For example, I think Adrian from Canada. I don't know. You probably know better about that. It was a few years.
Adrian from Canada.
Well, not from Canada, from Austria.
Oh,
also.
yeah. Oh, I was already wait. Adrian isn't from Canada, but yeah, he's working on Canada. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Adrian came back after a long
there's
time.
one developer we also should mention, and that is Septian, and he is actually from Indonesia. And yeah, also for him, real life got a bit in the way. And
If I may butt in, I just lost connection for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I just had issues.
Bit of a lag moment.
Yeah, I mean, for
this is
me,
a very big lag spike.
Yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
just crashed.
yeah, for me, Plum just jumped 3 times, and then he just stopped now on the road.
oh, rippity roop. But yeah,
I'll try and reconnect.
so
Yeah, service lagging, guys. All right. Well, I mean, those things can happen, right? We'll
Yeah.
get it fixed.
Wait, Sean here now talking about the technicalities of TMP.
Yeah, so while you were solving the technicalities, let me continue. So we have Septian from Indonesia, and he did also a lot of work on the map. Most of the Balkan stuff is from him. So the things in the Croatia, in Bosnia, and Serbia, it's pretty much all of it is his work, and he also did quite a lot in Ireland. One thing I really like about his mapping style is that it's all cozy. So it doesn't feel big; it just feels small, but inviting. It makes you feel at home.
Yeah. Yeah, he did lots of work, actually, really Oh, what the hell? Okay, somebody got kicked from the stream right in front of me. But yeah, that's. I think he almost single-handedly built like 80% of the Balkans we now have, which is like, it's a huge area. It's crazy to think about how much work was done there.
So then we actually do have a problem with the whole Western Balkans DLC, because there is so much work over there that we may have to throw away.
Yeah. I mean, that's always a bit of the problem with the Eurotruck part of ProMods, because it's built so much inside the
We have
inside the world.
in the inside area that SCS was rebuilding, and we had to throw away so much stuff over the years. Some of it was actually good riddance, because then that was so old and so dodgy that it doesn't. It wouldn't be possible nowadays, and there are still some areas in Germany still left that we just waiting for SCS to replace.
I think it's also worth mentioning places like Austria, where like we had work which was literally there for like a year, like Fischer JB. He did the A10 between Salzburg and I think it was can't remember where, but
Yes,
I remember that was up like maybe a year, and I remember the amount of work that went into that was pretty crazy, and it was only up for a year. Then it got lost because obviously Austria did the rebuild, and the merge was pretty. It was going to be pretty ambitious.
And the alignment was completely off whack compared to what SCS had built, and was like that the main exit of the A10 was all the way where SCS had built Saalvelde, which was pretty much in the middle of the whole mountains thing. So it was really awkward, and I must say that we couldn't find a way to merge it in. It was just too hard.
We couldn't change that, sadly, but
Yeah,
that's like the
that's
risk we have all the time with the ETS2 part of ProMods, of course.
Fortunately, we did manage to save something for the latest merge in Germany.
Yeah.
Because as you know, SCS introduced 4 city rebuilds in North Germany: Rostock, Travemünde, Kiel, and Hamburg. And of course, and with additional Winton, and we basically took over almost all of that area, almost, except for Kiel, because Kiel was one of the custom-built cities built by Path, and he did quite a good job there over there, and it wasn't really having any content rots yet, so
Yeah,
it's still worth saving.
that's true.
And we also had to do some bit of trickery to get the link to Feymar name there. And we had to connect the whole thing to Soltau again. Which does mean that we had to remove one of the SCS roads.
I mean, in the last few years, Germany has just been tricky because SCS is sprinkling out updates there, and we always have to adapt.
But I guess it's nearly over soon now.
Exactly, but my point was more like now we can also focus on some of the DLCs because, like, Stefan already
France
said it before, right? The Bucharest version of the DLC in Romania, it can have some improvement, and well, those areas will probably not be changed that soon. So that's of course the perfect moment now to start improving it.
Yeah, we actually stopped doing most work in Germany because it will get replaced anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I see also MG Mike in the chat on YouTube. That's a name I definitely recognize. Welcome to the stream, man. Are there any other people in the voice call who want to say something?
Sure.
All right, go ahead, Pim.
Well, my name is Pim Jong-un. I'm kind of a weird name, but whatever.
I'm the leader of North Korea. Great. You see which like great people we have in our team.
Alright, go ahead, Fib.
I'm a kind of a new developer for about a few months, I think. Started at the same time as Juice, I think. Around the same time.
I think so too,
Yeah, I think about the same time. Yeah, in March somewhere.
Yeah. And I've been mostly working in the Netherlands.
Yeah, it's also funny that you both are Dutch, of course. And joined at the same time, not to mention that like 6 or 7 people in the team are Dutch.
Yeah, but
and
even
more
though
Dutch speaking.
even though I'm Dutch, most people thought I was from Norway since I've never mapped anywhere else, to be honest. Norway is the only part of the map I have mapped, but I still enjoy it, so.
I always mix you and Pim up because like one of you works in the Netherlands and one of you works in Norway, but I always forget which one it is. And I don't know, maybe it's also just because you guys both have like blue in your avatar or something like that. I don't know. My brain just didn't put the right connection there yet or something. All right, but yeah, it's again somebody quite new to the team. It's nice to see that all the new guys have a lot of time. That's probably one of the reasons why you guys have so much time, because you're new to the team.
Yeah.
I guess you just like most of the new guys are still going to like how do you call it? I want to call secondary school, but I think.
I'm in college at the moment. I'm in my
in college.
20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in college you can have time. It depends just a bit on how you organize your day and how much you drink during the nights, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'm actually the youngest developer. When I joined, I was the youngest in the team, but not anymore. But I'm still the youngest developer. But I'm currently in high school, so I indeed do have a lot of time to keep mapping.
Because you were how old again? I don't want to say the number because I'm afraid I will offend you, but.
No, you won't offend me. Currently, I'm 15 years old.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I was like doubting between 14 and 15. I wasn't so sure anymore.
Well, I just turned 15, so.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants to join the team, wants to start mapping, but thinks his age may be a problem, I thought the same, but it definitely isn't. If you've got the skills, you definitely can join.
I mean, you need to be, I think, officially, you need to be like 12 or 13 years old to make an account at ProMods. So, I mean, if you're like below 12 years old, it becomes a bit, a bit young, I'd say.
Yeah, okay, that can be true,
but yeah, 15,
younger ages beneath 18 can still become members.
I mean, there is also something I'd say about younger people. I myself am 16 and a half, but talking about the ones like 12, 13, 14, they have a plus, which is that they have more creativity.
Definitely.
And they're not like, I don't know, they don't have their minds controlled about different social things.
They have
I think they may have like more creativity in the mapping.
I think you're right about that. The other side is that the younger people are, I don't want to use the M word, but could be less mature. I mean, they of course are still developing their social skills, but that's also why it's always wise. That's why we always try out a bit, right? See how people are and how we can interact with each other.
And younger people are also usually a bit more over enthusiastic and maybe over ambitious.
That's true, but
yeah.
But I think that Stefan is right? The old people or the old people, oh my god, why do I say that? The people who are not that young anymore, they could be a bit more, like, too much on the cautious side, right? Because, like, why don't we give it a try? Why don't we stay ambitious, right? That's how this whole project started once, so having the young blood there, really important, I'd say.
Yeah.
No, but I can surely...
I will still criticize everyone who starts a one-to-one map to say don't do it. It's not because you way much more effort than you are willing to put in there.
All right, just do whatever you want, right? I mean, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like over ambition can be a burden. Like, I mean, once you get older and you start working, you get all those lazy, like those standard corporate trainings, right? About allergies, about pitfalls, whatever, and how your strengths can be your allergies, etc. But that's for like the next week when we have the ProMods podcast, I guess. I think Yus wanted to say something while on the soft.
Yeah, I can surely agree with the over-ambition part, because back when I started mapping 2 years ago, I started with my first serious map, which was Project E6, which, like I said in the beginning, I'm merging at the moment.
Yeah.
But back then, I on Google My Maps, I made a big map of everything I wanted to add, and I can surely tell you it was very big and very large. It contained almost the whole gap, which was in Scandinavia, but
yeah, I mean, like, ambition isn't like problematic. Like when me and Skull started, I think from day one Skull was like, I want to build a map that's better than SCS, and I want to build everything in Europe. And I mean, till this day we still haven't achieved it, but like I think part of ambition is ambition and vision and trying to bring that all together. It's like it's a cocktail of all kinds of things.
We don't have complete of Europe. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we missing actually?
Greece, I'd say, is a good candidate. Like a lot of Greece is still missing.
And
I mean, we have
Ukraine.
still Ukraine, yeah, definitely. That's also Europe.
Oh yeah, that's a big patch. I guess mid Caucasus as well.
Yeah, but also there are all kinds of gaps everywhere on the map, like where we are driving now in Norway, right? I mean, I think we are not able to drive from Tromsø to Trondheim all the way down, right? We didn't build the road yet. I mean, those are all kinds of things that are gapped.
I haven't merged the road yet. It's coming. It's coming.
Hurry up, man! I give you permission to skip classes to finish it.
He's writing notes.
Also remember the gap in Albania? It's existing like for years.
That's true.
I remember Fischer started Albania many years. He did Elspan, and then he did Austria after that.
Yeah, the problem is that some of these areas are all of high risk of actually being replaced by SCS content down the line.
Yeah,
I mean, like the Balkan
we don't have to care about it.
So, for instance, we've pretty much stopped development in the Western Balkans and in Switzerland because we already know. And also, you can see it from the blog post, SCS is working on that.
Yeah, exactly.
And also in Germany because SCS is working there.
If I may add something onto that, because the same happened for Iberia, of course, when that came out.
Yeah.
Whenever they unveil that they're working on something, does that discourage you or kind of annoy you that they're replacing what you've made, or do you feel optimistic of what you can add or replace on top of their work?
It's a two-sided coin. So, on the one hand, sometimes it's big trouble with just merging everything in. I think the most annoying one was the Eastern Balkans, so with Romania and Bulgaria and Turkey, because we had so many links between our old map and existing map from, for instance, Serbia to these new DLC areas. And but on the other hand, each DLC comes with loads of new content, loads of new assets we can use. And these assets are something that are the better butter of the whole map building. So
I mean, those are of course the technical consequences, but I think like what Cruz said, like this discourage you. I mean, on the emotional side, I mean, we are of course people as well. When you work like for years on a project, and then it gets replaced after 2 years because SCS built something else, I'd say that can definitely discourage sometimes.
Oh yeah, I know.
At the same time, you know that you can add more to replaced stuff, right? So
yeah, exactly. So it's really a double-edged sword. I mean, like I can remember the first time when content of mine was removed. I didn't care too much because it was like the first version of Scandinavia, but then of course some newer content sometimes had to get removed, or I saw like, I know that there are some people in the team who had like, I mean that's of course where big discussions sometimes come from, like who just don't want certain things to go, or don't think that the new work is like up to the standards. It's always a big, it's always hard. Like it's really great to have all the new stuff and assets, like the Germany rework. I spent a lot of time on the city of Nuremberg in the south of Germany. It's where part of my family comes from. I've been there like 100 times. I know the city very well, so I spent a lot of time building a lot of nice features there. I think I did a pretty decent job. So when of course SCS said like, oh, we are going to replace it, at first I felt of course a bit, I wouldn't say disappointed, but I mean it's part that you created that will go. Of course it can be a bit discouraging, but then of course I saw what SCS did in the blog post, and now I saw it in the game as well, and I'm actually really happy that SCS finally did the city, because they went like out and beyond with the detailing, and they actually built certain parts that I built as well. So I mean that's of course, I don't know, at that point it felt really nice to see that SCS also took up basically what the ideas we had as well. I'm not sure if they even looked at us for inspiration. If they did, then that's pretty cool. If not, it just proves that we had the same ideas, and then they made something great of it. It still sucks that it's gone, but I think it's...
I still remember. I remember with the Spain DLC. I remember it got announced already. Like,
yeah,
it was pretty much. And I remember. I think it was it a Real Deal? He still decided to finish some work. Like, I think it was Ciudad Real. I remember he was still working with that, even though like the Spain DLC was already quite well in development. They were already with blocks and everything. And that was quite funny. Like, he knew it was going to be replaced, but he still decided to keep working and finish that part off.
I mean, maybe to get also a bit back to the question of crew, right? I think discouraging, as you used the word, I mean, for me that was one of the main driving factors, because like in the last few years I haven't done much with ETS2 anymore, but focused more on the American Truck Simulator project that we have with Canada. I mean, I think it originally started with Penguinus, I think is his username, who built certain parts, and then together with me, Bricks, and some other developers, I'm sorry, I probably missed
Real
some
Deal,
names.
I think.
Oh yeah, of course, Real Deal. He built quite some nice highway and mountains Adrian, of course, also built a different part, and now that's coming together a bit. And like the great thing about Canada is that like right now, it seems that SCS is more focusing on the United States, so we can have our fun there, which is really nice. On the other hand, the project is not going as fast as the Eurotruck project because we're just with less developers and not that much time. But I mean, that's just the reality of things.
I think what's nice to talk about with Canada as well. I mean, you said this a few times. Was like the file size, for example, was a nice thing because like the ProMods is so much just random stuff, like old stuff from a long time ago in it. And like Canada, you kind of started from scratch, right?
Yeah, I mean Canada is, even though it's a ProMods project, it's of course a little bit different than the big one, because the Eurotruck project, it's so big. We kind of need to treat it as a monolith, so we cannot really guarantee any compatibility with anyone else unless they guarantee compatibility with us. It's just too big of a project. While with Canada, we just take the approach of it being a DLC. Which is really great for American Truck Simulator as a game. People can combine Canada with other mods, and of course with the DLCs that SCS keeps providing. Might actually now be a good transfer to give away 1 or 2 keys now. Wink, 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 wink.
Wink.
Yeah, we have to see how we're gonna do this.
Yeah, I'd suggest that people just write something that we say they should write in the chat, and then.
I also see one question coming up from time to time, and that is, do you think ProMods would ever be sought out by SCS to merge?
Oh, it was a common question, probably.
No.
The short answer is no, for legal reasons.
That too. I mean, SCS
wondered
doesn't
that as
really
well.
need us anymore. Yeah.
I feel you could, instead of merging, you could of course work together, perhaps, or because you've crossed paths in a few senses before, as part of the discussion has been. So
Yeah.
It does happen a bit with some people actually sort of from that. So we have a few members that actually work for SCS and we do part-time stuff. But yeah.
I suppose
I
in
mean,
a way,
that's of course on a legal individual basis then.
Yeah, that's probably the way to do it legally. But most of the things can't really be transferred. For instance, I do have, for instance, a whole library of electric pilot models, which I use for ProMods, but for instance, SCS can't use them because the format these files are not in the same format as their internal files. And therefore we can't really, for instance, swap out assets.
But did you want to say crew before?
I'm trying to recap what I was trying to think. I think one thing that it transferred, instead of actual things being transferred, maybe inspiration, because you were talking about how with the Nuremberg, for example, the ProMods version and then the later SCS version looked fairly similar, which means that could go on the side of being optimistic because you feel that you have done a good job if the official content is what you imagined and what you tried to make it look like. So
Yeah. I mean, I know that years ago, Skull was actually, I think, hired by SCS for some consulting work in that regard. But like these days, they have their own research teams, right? I mean, like SCS went on and became even bigger. They have a whole team of researchers that can do these things now.
they have like what, 200, 300 members?
But even then, they still might occasionally get some things wrong.
Sure, but like that's just part of life. It's not like we are always correct as well, right? So.
But I do think there's like little bits here and there. I mean, I think SCS has picked up a few modders as well, and I think they do not as much for it anymore, and probably not much at all. But I think they still from time to time pick inspiration for like mods, and not just us, but like other people doing stuff, the community in general. I think they still look towards that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they sometimes take a look at what we did in certain areas, and that they can decide like what kind of inspiration we take from there. I see that some people are like. Commenting on it, that it's not just about selling the project, of course, but also like into working together. I think the hardest part in working with a company is that you have legal and economic responsibilities towards each other, right? If SCS would hire us to do a certain work, they of course pay us, but in return they want a result as well. I mean, for me personally, I have like a normal day job. I work for 40 hours a week. I do this by the side. To have those kinds of legal responsibilities next to it, I personally do not want to take it. We have a lot of guys under the age of 18, as you heard. That's already a tricky part. Not to mention that everything is internationally. I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible. I mean, everything is of course possible, but there are so many hurdles on the road that for SCS, of course, it's easier to just try to hire people.
So you talk about the quality, for example, like assets, they have to be. SCS is like very, I guess, professional way. If they use like some internal tools, like I think we use Blender, and they use some other tools to make the assets, and obviously have to be optimized to a certain extent. And and there's just so many different stuff, like our work being optimized. I know we're a bit more flexible compared to them, of course, with optimization. So that's like all the technical stuff. That's just another. So there's a lot of factors involved.
And there's another thing. If you are under SCS. Working with SCS, you're also under an NDA, so you are not then allowed to share certain things because the NDA stands for non-disclosure agreement, and this is quite common in companies where you have some intellectual property to protect.
I mean, even in that regard, we are not that strict. I mean, we should have. We could also enforce NDAs more, if that would be really required. But I mean, for me, even though the project is this big and sometimes feels company-like, and some people treat us as if we are a company, to me it needs to stay this group of enthusiastic people who just come together and chill out and just have fun together and do what they like. It imposes challenges for the people who try to manage the team and try to manage the product. Microsoft can attest to it. Getting releases done, it's hard because we don't really put expectation or pressure on our developers. If you want to work somewhere, you can work somewhere. If you don't want to finish it, that's in theory fine. Of course, we are not amused by it, but we don't have any enforcement on those kinds of things. And that's probably also, like Stefan said a bit, right? The young guys, they have the free minds, but also just being free and to do whatever you want, it also gives the best results because people do what they like the most. From a business perspective, that's of course the worst kind of thing you can do. I mean, I work in a software development team. When we allow people too much to do whatever they like, the real work doesn't get done because that's just how people work. That's just reality of life. But on the other hand, we are a community project, and right now this works really well for us. I'd say we want to continue to do it this way.
Yeah, I'm the kind of guy that next to the people like, when this is done, this is how far you progress, or can we include this or that, or is it done? No, it's not done. Oh, we can't use this. That sort of stuff.
Exactly. All right, I see that. I think I will probably butcher the pronunciation, but Riai388, he was mostly talking about this topic right now. You're welcome that we elaborated your question. Thank you for asking it.
If anyone else has a question, feel free to ask it.
Yeah, actually, before we do that, I was like trying to introduce a first giveaway. Let's do that first, right?
What's the phrase gonna be?
I mean,
Hashtag PM10. I don't know.
Oh no, that's so cheesy, right? Okay,
yeah,
the giveaway, I can introduce it. So, well, as I said, we're talking about American Truck Simulator and SCS expanding there. As some people might have noticed, and I hope you have noticed, a new DLC was released. I think it was last week. It's the Oklahoma DLC. We want to give away some keys for that to the people who are watching in the stream. So let's think about. I wanted to do something with Oklahoma, but I'm like, I don't know anything about the state. So what shall we do to write? Like exclamation mark.
What was the teaser SCS used? Because you know they always use like, I don't know, I think they use bees for one state and.
Yeah,
what was the one for Oklahoma?
For that, I think they just had OK.
Yeah,
that's the abbreviation. You could have either OK or ATS. And another recommendation would be if you don't announce it immediately, because some people, of course, are driving and may want to enter the giveaway.
Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend multitasking in that sense, but if they are careful in doing so, they.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Let's do it really short one. Just type in the chat hashtag OK for like the next 3 to 4 minutes if you want to make a chance of getting. Let's give away 2 keys now. So we're giving away 2 keys for the Oklahoma DLC. If you want it, type in hashtag OK into the YouTube chat of the stream, and we will pick 2 winners.
You start a timer if you want. Maybe a 5-10 minute timer?
Yeah, let's say, let's give people 5 minutes. Let's give them 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, just type in hashtag OK. I see the first one's coming by, so we are not at this point. And then we will pick 2 winners.
Maybe Mandel Software, I don't know.
Exactly. You guys, the guys who are not driving can probably manage that a bit easier because I'm driving now through this really tiny road and I need to concentrate and try to announce the giveaway. But let's start with giving away 2 Oklahoma keys. Just type in hashtag OK. I think the people who are driving in the stream might also be able to do that. We will select 2 winners.
Do capital letters matter for the?
No. No, just right. I mean, just make sure. Oh, I see that people also react that people already have it, so others will win. That's nice there. I mean, yeah, that's always the hard part about giveaways, right? I mean, there are always people who already have things or don't have the game. It's we just want to give a bit back to the community by giving away some keys.
I think it's also worth mentioning you don't have to write like a lot of times. #OK.
Yeah, just type it once. That's fine. We will select somebody from the whole list. We are really old school with that, or unprepared.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bot we found one last minute, didn't really work for us.
Exactly. We just want to make sure that you want to be part of this giveaway, because we don't want to give away the key, of course, to somebody who doesn't own the American Truck DLC. Or the American Truck Simulator game. On the other hand, maybe it's a good shout out right now. A sale is going on, right? So you can get the game for €5. I think the Oregon and Washington DLC, they don't cost much more than $10, even less probably in the sale. So for like $15, you can get the American Truck Simulation Washington Oregon bundle, and then you can play ProMods Canada as well. Some shameless advertising for the Canada mod. Let's put it in there as well. It's a really nice mod. It's not that big yet, but it's going to be the best mod. Trust me.
No, Svartwolf is still picking his favorite truck. He's sitting there and I just drove past him. He's seeing which one he likes best.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, he's keeping a good eye if everybody's behaving well. So
you sure want to give him a honk as you go by.
Yeah, it gets your attention.
Exactly.
He's done an excellent job, like doing all the. Because obviously, many of us aren't like exactly I guess experts with truckers and PE, but he really knows his stuff, and he's been a massive help, especially to myself, like organizing Convoy and working with the event team, and obviously all the TMP event team who are here as well. I don't know how many people. I don't know, crew. Do you know how many people have worked on this event?
Quite a lot. At the beginning, I saw at least 10, 20 vans parked up, all the CC
Yeah,
members.
that is impressive. Like, wow. So a massive thank you to like the truckers and P team as well, and obviously the developers and everything, like Sean and so on, who's made all of this possible.
Yeah, much appreciated, guys. I mean,
and obviously everyone who's joined the convoy as well and is watching.
Yeah, I mean, as you might notice, we are no experts at all in hosting streams or whatever, but we just try and give it a go. That's how you should do it in life, right? Just try, give it a go. That's how wonderful things can happen.
Kind of reflecting on that topic, actually, going back to you mentioning the NDA. If you did have one, it would be amazing that quite a lot of what you've said today wouldn't be said, I think. And people would miss out on all of the understandings and inner workings of how things work. So it's nice that you can sort of openly say a fair bit.
I guess. I mean, to be fair, like with the NDA, I'm mostly also aiming at protecting our side a bit when it comes to SCS news. Like the things we write, like if people are wondering, do we know in advance what kind of DLCs SCS is working on? Yes, we know. Are these things we are allowed to share? No, we are not. Yeah. But
that makes sense,
as I said, I'd rather work from a point of trusting people. I mean, I don't think that anybody really wants to. Like, it happens, right? That people share things that should not have been shared. I do it a lot as well. I mean, I'm maybe even the worst offender. But for me, it's most important, like, what is the idea behind it? Is it just a mistake? Or are you intentionally trying to do some stuff, right? I mean, I could accidentally say something about, like, a new expansion we are building that we shouldn't have said something about. I mean, if I did it on purpose, it would be so different if it was an accident. I just want to work from that perspective. That's my view of how teams should operate. But at some point, yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's nice to reflect on that, to be honest. Nice that you bring it up. I think it's good we don't do it.
And I suppose with the aspect of trust as well, because you mentioned the question that basically sparked all of this is the when someone joins the team, it's not just an application, it's you picking the person. So
Exactly.
you really dive into the details of whether you can trust and put confidence in that person. Yeah.
I'd say so. I mean, it's like applying for a job, right? There's almost no job in the world where they say like, "Oh, there you go ahead." They want to know who you are, if you fit in the team.
I want to see if their
etc.
investment is worthwhile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, some people were I know the academy for like developers at least. I mean, some people were there for years. I remember even myself, I was there for a few months. It's really like, you know, getting to know the person and like seeing their work obviously progress. I know like people internally would be like a bit like, if I can say like critical maybe initially and sometimes less critical, and then
you're a good example, Plum, because like when you first started out on the forum, I don't think you were really liked by a lot of the ProMods guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that.
But I mean, people change, right? So I'm glad that you joined the team. I mean, you have done so much nice things. Actually, I think for this stream, right? I mean, you helped to make sure that somebody was driving, like pushing the whole thing forward. That's like so valuable. That's like the world needs people who want to push projects forward. Otherwise, they just don't happen. So,
now that we are approaching the most well-known part of
ding ding ding.
Kirkenes Quarry Road.
Familiar territory.
Maybe it's time to announce the winners.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, did you select two people?
I have a list of all the people that actually responded with okay.
Great.
Made sure that all double entries are just filtered out. And we have 30 people in there on the list.
All right.
Very nice.
I have now just random.org and I just generate 2 random integers and.
All right.
And then we get our winners. These are number 10 and 11. So our winners are EDM Zone and Harry Doyle. Congratulations!
Congratulations, guys.
So you guys can contact, if you have to join our Discord and contact the mod mail bot. That's
I see Harry Doyle actually had multiple entries in the chat. Don't worry about it. I actually filled out with just 1, and so he's still lucky.
Wow. Okay.
Mandel, like in order to make sure they get their things, could you like write their name with the official ProMods account on the chat so that they, like, in case they missed your announcement or something?
Yeah.
So actually, we should have a claim time. Actually, we should say.
Yeah, if you mention their name, it should.
Yeah, please mention it in the chat. Who they are. Write them down, Mandelsoft, and go on the Discord server and send a message to the mod mail. Maybe we can write down some instructions there, or I mean, just try to contact us in any way. We will make sure that those keys come to you. That's something I will promise. We will.
I think Svartwolf has also just messaged me. He has winners, which will be revealed at the end of some of the competition.
Excellent. Yeah. Once we get towards. Whoa! I want to say once we get to the end, but I'm driving over a road and my truck almost did a front flip. But I don't want to spoil too much for the people watching the stream because the road quality is going to change very soon.
it is quite bumpy, yeah. So be careful from here, yeah.
Exactly. Be careful.
I still find it incredible how long the convoy is. Like I don't know if you guys realize just how far it goes back. I think like the leaders left like maybe 10 minutes ago only, and like we're nearly at Momonks already. I think it's crazy how many people have come.
If you have a look on the Truckers MP map site, you can just, if it shows up there, you can see how many blobs there are on one line.
That's true. Yep.
Usually the Truckers FM convoys have from front to back. It's incredible.
I mean, that's what you get when you put like all those 300 trucks or something that were there, and I see somebody in the Truckers MP chat writing, my force feedback laughed at. Well, mine as well, man. My steering wheel almost shaked off the desk. I should have tied it down better. All right. Well,
Maybe now's a good time to like just quickly like look back like 10 years ago when like the first release happened, because I know that was quite like a night, like quite a stressful. No, I don't know if it was stressful, but it was quite like a.
Yeah, I mean, I can do some story time if you guys like.
I was
Yeah,
going to do
my
that
stories.
actually. Thinking of early questions. If you want to go back
Alright.
right to the very start, because I think one of the first things you're wondering about is the name of ProMods.
Okay,
You
I
came up
mean,
with it fairly quickly. What was there a previous name that it could have been before it became ProMods, or?
To be fair, I mean, how I remember it, I have to say it's 10 years ago, right? So my memory could also be failing me. But as I said, like we started out as the ETS2 Scandinavia mod. That was like the first name we had, and that was basically because I created a Facebook page with that name. That's how the first name came to be. And to be fair, how I remember it was like, oh, we need a new name and we need a website. And then Skull was like, oh yeah, I registered promods.net. And I was like, ProMods, that sounds as if we are a bit like Etalist. And then he was like, yeah, but we have a mod and it's really professional. I was like, okay, yeah, I guess that's true.
It's
And
catchy as well. Rolls off the tongue
I
quite
think-
easily.
Yeah, I mean, the name was just there. I think Skull just thought of it, registered the domain, and that's just how it continued. And basically, like the first year, the system just ran off a server he already had. With the money, I think, yeah, he put the money in because, like, yeah, all that infrastructure just costs money, of course. And back then, I think even the first version, I don't think there was a paid version yet because it was so small. You could just download it from the website. And at the start, it was just our money that we put into it. Basically, that's that's basically how you start, right? As a shareholder
Humble
with a small
beginnings.
investment, and then it continues, which is interesting. And then after a while, of course, the business model started with the paid link, which then finances the infrastructure of the servers. And then over the years, we attracted a very brilliant mind who knows, I think, everything there is to know about server infrastructure and whatnot. And we basically gave him a budget, and he went all overboard, creating, in my opinion, quite a stable infrastructure.
Yeah, shout out to Michael.
Exactly. I'm not sure to what. Actually, his username is Michael Murphy, right? So okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. His name is Michael.
And for your statement, he likes good whiskey.
Exactly. Yeah, he likes good whiskey and Taylor Swift. So if you ever want to make a good donation towards ProMods, Taylor Swift tickets, they will be used. Whiskey. I think the first 2 payments that were made for his services was, I think, whiskey by Skull. And actually, fun fact. I mean, Skull, when I met him, he lived in the UK, but now he lives in New Zealand, which is a little bit on the other side of the planet.
Oh wow.
But Michael, he also lives in New Zealand, so those two I've already met up, I think, a few times. I guess they drank whiskey together. So that's a cool thing about how the internet brings people together, right?
I think it's worth saying Murphy also threw a few of his like Easter eggs on the website, so even he's managed to make Easter eggs as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the damn girl you blocked was one of his inventions. To be fair, like when we talk about stable infrastructure, I think one of the pet peeves over the last few years was always the free download. How we could facilitate that in the best way, where it was financially a good decision, but also usability a good decision. And I think just now 2 or 3 months ago that we changed the free download system. And in my opinion, the system is now much more stable, but also much more usable.
Yeah, and we'll finally get rid of all the daily why am I blocked questions.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, for me personally, I'm sure many of the community will probably agree with me. At least that was like the only like kind of grudge I had was always the download system. I knew it was like very like difficult because of the size and the amount of like data that goes through the servers and so on. But it was always like the grudge because I thought it was so like unuser friendly. It wasn't user friendly at all. So I'm glad like it's improved now.
And then we also get suggestions, why don't we torrent it? And then it's like, then we get a whole mess with versioning, and that's not what we want. And also the question, why don't you put it on Google Drive or Mega? And then the answer is,
You got locked.
after a few downloads, you basically used up all the bandwidth and it gets blocked.
I mean, just to illustrate how ignorant we were 10 years ago, because that's actually how this story started a bit, right? About let's talk about how it all started. We of course released on the 6th of August at midnight. That's the only release we ever announced. Because we thought we could do that, we actually postponed the release twice. That's one of the reasons why we don't announce releases.
There's actually a second one we actually announced, but it was also a disaster.
Oh, there was a second one? Oh, well, then you even know.
The second one was 2.0.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like, announcing releases was always problematic, but even the first one, like, we said 6th of August, midnight, we will release it. Everything was ready to go. And then around midnight, I guess everybody pressed F5 in their browsers and our server just crashed. So yeah, that just shows how unprepared we were, and we still are sometimes. I mean, as I said, we're just a hobby project. We learn as we go by just doing things, and most of the time they work out, and if they don't work out, we try to learn from it. But yeah, those were like nice times. Like, I mean, I've been talking a bit much, but maybe if I reflect back to like the early days when it was just me and Skull,
and
I can still.
Communication was a whole difference, because nowadays we use Discord, but back in the day Discord was just not a thing.
That's true.
The whole
We
thing
use Skype.
It started with Skype.
Yeah, the first version, like, it was just me and Skull, so we just chatted on Skype, and we had a Dropbox where we shared our files. With two people, you can use Dropbox to share files. That works relatively okay. It's not perfect, but it works relatively okay. And then basically, how my world back then consisted was I still went to high school. Because I was 16 back then, so basically the age of Stefan. Basically, my day consisted of getting up at 5:30. I was like a paper boy, so in the morning I delivered the papers. I earned a bit of money from that. Then I went to school, and then I got home again. I got on the computer. I worked on ProMods, and if I wasn't watching the time, that could be like until 2 in the night. And then I woke up again at 5:30. So in those times, it was quite normal for me to only sleep like 3 to 4 hours. I was like deeply unhealthy. I always was like the kid at school in like the dirty old clothes with like how do you call them, the saggy eyes, because I was a bit sleep deprived. But I mean, no pain, no gain, I guess. That's basically how the whole version started. And then on the 6th of August, I actually stayed at a friend of mine when we released it, because the 6th of August, I would go in the morning on vacation. So we released it. I stayed up till like 2 o'clock to see people like playing on it, which was really nice to see. And then I went on vacation with that friend of mine. We drove with the train to the other side of Germany. Which was a really cool day. That was also back in the day, like 10 years ago. It wasn't that common that everybody had, or like every kid had a mobile phone with internet, or at least I didn't really have one. So I was basically away for 3 weeks. And I came back, and then it was like, oh, this doesn't work, and we have these problems. And the first version of the map was like so full of bugs. It was, when I think back of it, I still don't understand. Like, people were like, oh, this is a good product, let's tell my friend about it to get it. It was like so full of bugs. It was so rushed. But
and we still have some legendary bugs.
I know, right? And that's just how things go in life. You just continue, and that's basically also the time when you joined Mandelsoft, and then the team started expanding a little bit. We also had like Kuchek, his name was. He joined. He built a lot of France. I mean, I haven't spoken with him for years, but his life went on, and he started doing other stuff. I'm not even sure if he still knows what this project is. Well, Murphy was there back in the day. He also now left the team for years. And that's just how it goes. I think maybe one of the most funniest stories would be the ProMods logo, which was, I think it was redesigned for version 2.0 with the now very, let's call it very famous orange marker. It was made by a guy named Hans the Trucker. I think he had been around in the team for a few months. He made some of those design things and then he left. Never spoken to him since, but his legacy keeps living on with the logo he designed back then. I'm really curious if he still even knows the name ProMods or that we exist. It would be, I mean, if he ever watches this and he wants to reach out again, that would be so cool to speak to those kind of people who did like such a small gesture but had such an impact on the whole project. It's
I like the logo. I think it's just really like iconic in a way. And I know like obviously like it's kind of like the TMP logo as well, just with that truck and so on, and the SCS logo and so on. I just think it fits really well personally. I think it did a really good job. Like
I think so too, yeah.
It's an intersection, isn't it? That's what the logo is. Or...
Yeah, exactly. It's the P and the M, but it's also like an intersection of a road. Like the thinking behind it is like crazy if you think about it. Like there's so many small details of that. Like I mean, I'm not sure. A lot of people don't realize that you see a P and an M in there. But yeah, that's also why it's such a weird interchange, basically.
Okay.
And then of course then like a few years ago we had like Canada like, oh, what should we do? And then we were like, well, the maple leaf is quite iconic for Canada. I don't think that there is a country that has a bigger association with something like that than Canada has. And they were like, oh, why don't we map the logo in the maple leaf and then use red because it's a Canadian color? Well, I guess that logo also turned out really great. And it's all done by a bunch of people who are no experts at all.
In a way, your name is kind of established by then, so the whole ProMods Canada just feeds off the existing
exactly.
entity
and to be fair, we keep going on with that, right? I think the Great Stepper has like a blue ProMods logo, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Middle East, and then whatever else you might do in years to come. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's I think the official term for this is called brand recognition, I guess.
Mm.
What you call this?
And then of course we had the parody logo of ProMods, where we actually took the same idea but do it in a really shitty way.
Yeah, for instance, Noob. When was that? Was that last year on the 1st of April that we made Noob Mods, or was it this year?
Last year or year before, I think, yeah.
Or the year before.
That was very good.
Being creative with just the worst mapping I could possibly make, like.
Yeah, but doing the bad job in a way that is actually takes quite a lot of skill. For instance, that we still include, for instance, intro cameras in every city. But for instance, I straight had it upside down.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I mean, I never played it. It was a side project that other people did, but it's still fun how people want to take the time to do those kinds of funny things.
We even did like videos and so on for it. I fit like the entire YouTube channel and everything. Like, I loved it. Like just like making it as terrible as possible.
And
I think in a way. Yeah.
Shout out to Toast for he did a professional video of something that was very scuffed.
Yeah,
so
I remember that.
Yeah,
that was very good.
I mean, talking about the 1st of April, one of the jokes I liked a lot as well was the teaser we did for Canada, which we posted on the 1st of April.
Oh no.
And everybody was like, oh, it's the 1st of April. And then others were like, but it also could be real. And then, oh man, we had so much fun in our chat. Like, are people going to pick it up that this might be real? Because back then we already had like, I think like half of the map built. So we could really do like more than just a fake thing, right? So those kinds of memories are like, yeah, I don't know, they're great to make.
There was the Canada double bluff.
Exactly, the Canada double bluff. Yeah, that was so much fun to do.
I do think, because I think we're coming to the finish now.
Yeah.
So might be worth showing off some pictures again and announcing some giveaways. I do think though, in general, as like a last point, just in general, it's just like I do think it's in some ways like the mapping is kind of an art. No, I don't know. That's always my impression now. It's like it's kind of this weird way of like art, weird form of art.
Oh, art! I thought you said alt. I was like,
Not the art like.
okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'd say, yeah, you could categorize it as a sort of art.
Yeah, in SCS, all the map editors actually have the official job title as 3D artist.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Anyway, I think maybe now would be. I guess I don't have Cruz arrived yet. He might still be driving. I
Just pulling
unfortunately
up. There we are.
crashed.
I think
Yeah.
he just reversed next to me, so that's great.
We can look at some more work maybe, and
I like how Crew got like a black truck with orange striping. I'm not sure if he did that on purpose or not.
There is a little bit of a story behind that. I think it was I
Go ahead.
was using black and white. Black and white's my main color scheme, and then at some point
Yeah.
I believe for last year or the year before's Halloween, naturally
Yeah.
wanted orange for the convoy as well, and I either forgot to change it back or decided not to, kind of a double bluff on myself and be like, well, ProMods orange.
Yeah.
So I keep the orange on this profile and have the white and black on my normal profile, because otherwise the truck skins look exactly the same. So it
Yeah.
works quite well.
That's perfect match, man. Cool to hear how Halloween converted you to the use of a ProMods style truck. Let's say it like that.
I suppose being lazy as well kind of helped with that.
To be fair, like being lazy also means that you go for the most efficient solution. So
I think
I always.
there was another question I had going back to the
Okay.
first or whatever
on.
release of ProMods as well, being because you said it was
Yeah.
called ETS Scandinavia mod or something.
Yeah, that was the initial name.
And
we
that was
had,
before
yeah.
the DLC, the official DLC for it came out, wasn't it?
Correct.
So
It
how
was-
much
it was
of
like-
Scandinavia was involved in your first quote release?
Yeah, back then we only built towards Oslo and Stockholm, basically. So roughly what the Scandinavia DLC was as well, right?
Yeah, I think the most northern part was Stockholm and Bergen in Norway. But we also had just one corridor in Finland from
Yeah.
Turku to Helsinki.
Exactly, that was just one road where you could take the ferry. And actually we also planned for the first version to only have like Tallinn in Estonia. Just like a ferry hop, but we never got around to build that. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure, when did you start playing these games, Crew? Because I guess you
The
didn't play it
games, I
already
think
back 10 years ago. Yeah.
I think end of 2014 I got the game, and then
Okay.
I joined TMP in April of 2015. And then
Yeah.
ProMods itself, I was playing that much later afterwards. I think older members of my stream community would know that I had a sort of, before it was on TMP, I think in about 2017, I had a kind of let's play type thing of driving around ProMods.
Yeah.
I don't know how much was there back in 2017, but I think I've been playing kind of since then. And it's insane to say, it almost been like you've been chasing, well, not really chasing 100%, because I don't think I'll ever reach that, but chasing the completion of it. I mean, on that aspect, there are a lot of people that have reached 100%, which is,
Yeah.
I don't know how insane that sounds to you, but it's a
That
feat for
sounds
the
crazy
regular
to me.
map, and then of course for ProMods being nearly double the size, that's impressive as well.
I mean, when I hear people who have like 2, 3, 4,000 hours in this game just driving around, I'm already amazed that the people still, of that the game still has that much retention.
I think
Especially it's quite the game loop is quite simple.
Yeah, exactly. Like when it comes to the gameplay, I don't think a lot has changed in the last 10 years. And of course there are some additions here and there, but it's still the basic idea of getting a truck and putting a trailer behind it.
I think that's
And
what
you
helped
drive
its growth in a
somewhere,
way, because it's been picked up by sort of international companies and things, the brands wanting to work with the games, and
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think the biggest change for SCS that happened was when they got greenlit on Steam. Because like I'm not sure how many OG people are here, but like I still have my receipt from, I think it's the 19th of October 2012 that the game was released. But back in that day, it wasn't even available on Steam yet, so you either had to purchase it through their website, and they had like a link to download the game, but they advised people to use mirror download links from other suppliers. So they kind of had the same issue as ProMods, that they couldn't really serve their own game from their own servers. And I just bought like a digital copy through like how do you call it, the local hardware store here in the Netherlands. And I think once they had like a big campaign to get like the game greenlit on Steam, because this was 10 years ago, right? It's when you think about it, the world changed so much in those 10 years. Like 10 years ago, it was quite normal to buy like a CD with a game on it, right? And like hard copies were a thing. And Steam, of course, was already there and growing hard, but it was not that everybody could just add their game to Steam like you have nowadays. You had these greenlight campaigns where companies could apply and fans had to like vote their game in. And that's what happened with Euro Truck, and I think that's also the point where it took off for SCS. And in return, that's of course also taking up for us, but it's like a two-way street, right? I mean, they attract people through Steam by selling their game. We then try to keep people retention by offering more content, and then of course you have Truckers MP who try to keep retention of the people to the game because they can play with their friends, and that's basically how everybody just helps each other grow in that regard. I'd say it's like the holy triangle: Truckers MP, ProMods, and SCS. Let's say it like that.
It's a continuous loop, of course.
Yeah, like in one way we cannot live together, but we also cannot live without each other.
Oh yeah.
Let's say it like that.
I feel I remember another quick reflect back as well. When ProMods and TMP first joined and the support was revealed, your download service didn't like that as well. I think you had to get sort of assistance from other means to help with the sheer amount of downloads on it. So.
Yeah, I think there were some people who actually gifted some server space.
Yeah.
For a week.
Yeah, I think Simulator Radio. What's it? Rick from Simulator Radio. He gave us that time. So shout out to him as well, I guess.
I mean, I can still remember. I'm not sure how well people remember the teasers we made, but we had the idea of creating a video of I think it was really short, of multiple trucks driving around on that Scandinavian on the test center of Scania near Stockholm.
Yeah, I think it was actually because it was such a big partnership back then. At least within the community, I think it was definitely it was quite a massive deal back then, because I think Truckers P was just a base map, and then I remember the launch was such a big thing, especially for us as well, like playing together on the map.
Yeah.
Although
I mean, that teaser was actually so fun to make, because like we put it on our channel, and then a few days later Truckers MP posted something similar, and like we weren't immediately hinting for Truckers MP, but a little bit as well. I mean, just go back on our YouTube channel, the video. Actually, I might try to find the video and post it in the chat, but that was like...
It was like a movie set, I remember. Like, Briggs had to like coordinate everyone. It was quite fun.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, I'm standing here, I'm going to film now, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, exactly. That was like... I felt like an actor for that day, almost.
And then in our case, I think it was like a 2-part something's coming, in quotes, kind of thing, which kind of built up the hype for that.
I think so as well. Yeah. It's crazy how that took off. I'm trying to find the video. Did we remove it from?
No, it's 2.42, I think. It was just called ProMods 2.42, I think.
I think that version didn't add any content except for the multiplayer support.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the racetrack was the big thing, because we were like, people want to group up somewhere, and then we reskinned the I think partially rebuilt the racetrack around Stockholm where the Scania is. Yeah,
the Södertälje.
Yeah.
I still remember everyone. The first meeting spot I think that everyone swarmed to was Reykjavik in Iceland. Because it was such a different area, Iceland. Different terrain to first go to, so everyone swarmed there.
Yeah, exactly.
And since then, there is one place where a lot of people flock because a lot of people are there. You know the place.
Yeah.
The road. The road we do not speak of.
I was actually, and I think Adrian made that, and he wasn't actually like in the team anymore. And we always used to say how incredible it must be like to see how much attention his workers has received.
It's a really nice area.
Right.
If you remove the players, it sounds a bit weird. It's a really nice area when you look at it.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting area because it's not even really based on something real life.
Yeah, it was kind of fiction. Do we want to show some more work? Cause I'm at there's a few folders. Maybe we want
Let's
to.
do that.
Because I know Horizon. He's unfortunately I think Tedesco has to go at the moment. So and I know Justin as well, Joe as well.
Yeah, we can do that.
So
Okay.
maybe we can begin with the Horizon work.
Right.
Let's
Horizon,
do that.
yes. Quite a few pictures in this one. So we could skim
So
through those.
unfortunately, he's not here at the moment. But he gave me some stuff to talk about. So it's going to
Quiet man.
stream.
Do you want to do it picture by picture, or if I just slideshow it?
You just slideshow because I think it wasn't anything specific.
Mm.
But he says it is a TGS, so the Great Step 1.0.2. That's the upcoming version, and it's the A22 highway and Karabudak settlements in Kazakhstan. So there's a few pictures here. Some really nice work. I know Horizon has done quite a lot of work in the Middle East. He was very involved in the Middle East. I don't know, along with like Platypus and so on. Lithuania, as we said earlier as well. And I think this is like another like milestone for him. He really likes working in these kind of, I guess you could say like different to Europe. I think I think a lot of people enjoy that, you know.
He also gets some models donated by a few other, I think, Russian developers. For instance, like
Yeah, the one who developed the bear map. Yeah, it's true.
his name was Tana Void.
Yeah, his name. But the thing is, he's the main developer. But the modular is actually his either wife or girlfriend. I'm not sure. Yeah, so they're doing some stuff.
But at least we should mention that we do get some stuff from them. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, well, in exchange, because I remember Horizon also did like some fuel stations for them, custom ones.
oh yeah, those.
It's a nice work together with other mapping teams, basically.
And the big challenge in Kazakhstan is that it's so open and so flat that you still have to manage the view distance, because the game has a limited view distance and you don't want things to pop up randomly in distance quite notably. So that's quite tricky to work on. So
All right, should we look at some of Joe's work next? Once you finished, like I said, if you're still going through them.
I was just going back to the beginning. It's just saying the open fields and plains as you were describing that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
as it-
also just looking at it. It's nice.
Who
it's
next?
really nice.
Relaxing.
Joe's.
Joe.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, of course, we finished the convoy in Murmansk, which is also one of the cities that will be reworked. But we can look at a few screenshots of my work there.
Oh, familiar name. It's appeared again. The infamous K place. Something for people to look out for.
Yeah, the road that should not be named, right?
This
Anyway,
one,
near that.
this photo is one of the back roads that leads to the Norwegian and Russian border. This is a border which can be crossed and probably won't be crossable, but that's still up for debate.
Didn't we crossed the border like this during the convoy, didn't we?
Yeah.
The same sort of shape.
Yeah, there are 2 border crossings. There will be 3, 2 of which will be crossable. One of which is legally crossable. But that's the one we crossed in the convoy. And it was pretty hard to make it because the Norwegian side has street view, but the Russian side doesn't have any street view and just limited photos. But I think it's getting along pretty nice. And I believe there are also some pictures in there belonging to Project E6.
these few ones afterwards, nearby villages or towns, just look very nice. E6, yeah.
There are, I believe there are the first two. There's one with a farm and one in a sort of town center. Those belong to Project E6.
The rural area looks very nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice area to be in. I went there myself 2 weeks ago, which was pretty awesome. As I have mapped it, as you can see. But yeah, it's coming along all pretty nice.
Yeah, since you have been to this place, have you experienced what we would call reverse deja vu? Because
yeah,
it's something
that was pretty weird.
Yeah, that's also something that I experienced when I was actually traveling in Iceland, and I was quite familiar with the map of how we made it in ProMods, and at some point there was like, yeah, I can recognize this from the game. And the strongest feeling I had was then when I was entering Isafjord, and I'm like, this looks exactly how it looks like in the game.
Yes, I had the same in the middle of Norway.
Yeah, I got also
somewhere you've never been to your entire life, but just so recognizable because you've looked at it like 1,000 times on Google Maps.
That means you did a good job.
Feeling.
I'd say you did a good job with that.
And it was also, even with some SCS areas, it was also in Norway, and we had a hotel near Oslo, and there was a motorway exit where we went off, and I was like, hey, this is exactly that same exit that is multi-game. And it's Swependen. So there is a big IKEA on one side, and there was all kinds of other commercial development surrounding it, and I'm like, hey, I recognize this.
Bit of a quiz for...
Yeah, I also had that in one of the pictures. The one in the city center was a town which we stopped to fill the car with gas, and it feels kind of weird when you enter a gas station which you have mapped. It feels like you're living in the game at that moment. It's a very weird feeling, but...
I also in Norway when I with Otta and Opdal, I also went there. And I also mapped that in game. And then that again gets weird.
Okay, that'll do for those ones.
Pretty weird feeling.
I think we've been through those.
Yes. Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good time now to, before people obviously it's been going for a while, before people start, maybe announce the winners of the truckers and PvP related stuff. I mean, it's going to be published in game, hopefully too. I put in the stream chat, so I don't know if we want to like announce it, so I'm not announcing 4 different winners. Maybe Nico wants to announce one, I announce one, and someone else announce another. If you guys want to do that.
That sounds good, yeah.
Alright. So, in terms of the largest VTC attendance, the winner is, and they win the heavy cargo pack DLC, it is Prime Logistics. So that will be a DLC key that they can give away within the VTC. So that's the Prime Logistics, get the heavy cargo pack DLC.
Yeah, once you guys decide who should win it, contact us, and we make sure that you get the DLC added to your Steam wallet or your Steam, to your Steam profile. All right, then the winner for the best VTC parking information with the prize of getting the special transport pack DLC, so you can now also park really nice with one of those really long trailers. That goes to Country Roads UK. So Country Roads UK, you guys win the best VTC parking information prize, and one of you can claim the special transport pack DLC. Congratulations.
And for the best looking truck, which is for the VTC, it is unfortunately I don't have the VTC name here, but it is Ghosty23, and he gets a tuning pack DLC of their choice. So congratulations, Ghosty23.
We have the best looking truck for the public category, so somebody who isn't part of VTC, and you win a trailer pack DLC of your choice, and that will go towards Toff Dot. That's your username. Todd the dot.
Love the dot at the end.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure
Short and
how
sweet.
important the dot is at the end, but I will just say it. Todd dot. Yeah, please reach out. We will also try to post it in the server chat. And actually, the last two we can probably reach you guys as well on the Truckers MP because we know your usernames. But for the VTCs, please internally you guys can give it away. But select one of the people who wants to redeem the prize, and that person should contact us, and then we can make all these things happen after the stream.
Right.
I'll make sure that these things happen.
Should we? I don't know if we want to look at like another one or two like folders, and then maybe I don't know if we want to give away one more thing in the chat while like, everyone from the convoy is here as like a final giveaway. I don't know, Nico. It's up to you. It's your.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's look at a few more pictures, and then at the end we will give away one or two more keys for the people who stick around with us all the way to the end. And then I guess it's. And that will wrap up the stream. Let's say it like that. So
You could ironically do it the other way around as well, where if you do the giveaway while a lot of people will be looking at the pictures.
That's fine. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
That
If you
people
wanna
start
do that.
writing down. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. So let's think. What shall we give away? I was thinking we could do two things, and then I leave it up to you guys to decide. We can give away. I mean, like, it's a shame that the West Balkan DLC isn't released yet. Otherwise, we could, of course.
You could still give it away, as in say when it releases, you give it to them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's do it like that. I want to give away two more things. One of the things I want to give away is the West Balkan DLC, but it's not here yet. So the person who wins that, we will stay in touch. You will stay in touch with me, and I will make sure that by the time that comes out, you will get one from us. So. That's the first one. And the second thing I was thinking about giving away is, and sorry, I keep shamelessly advertising our Canada project, is to give away a copy of American Truck Simulator with the DLCs that are required for Canada. So basically, to the person who owns ETS2 basically and doesn't own ATS yet, we will give away basically whatever you need to get going on Canada.
Jeez.
Actually, I don't know. We want to
Just the two map DLCs still, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oregon
so you get
and Washington.
Oregon and Washington and ATS. I think those are the only requirements right now for Canada, so you will get those. There's a question in the chat. Little question. Ghosty23 wants to claim his prize. Who should he contact at ProMods? You can do two things, I guess. One of the things you can do is just try to reach me or Modelsoft, but that's really vague. Another thing you can do is go on our Discord server and contact the mod mail, because then it goes into our system, and we will make sure that we verify who you are, and then you get whatever you owe from us. No, wait, you get what we owe from you. No, wait, what we owe for you. Yeah, you get the prize.
We want to wait 1 more minute because I see the last people are just coming into Murmansk, so we can make sure everyone is here. So
I was just watching a few of those, yeah.
Exactly, that's good. And then I guess what's also wise to do, because we're giving away two completely different keys, is that we do two different thingies, because I guess that people, of course, who have ETS2 want to win the West Balkan, but if you own ATS already, you also still want to make sure that you can win the West Balkan DLC if you own ETS2. So you can just you can do both of them, but if you don't want one of the two, then just only write one of the two down. And I guess let's keep it very simple. Hashtag Balkan and hashtag Canada. If you want to be part of both of them, then just type them in both. If you only want to be part of one of them, just type one of them. So I will just quickly write it in the chat, and then we will do the pictures and talk a bit more, and then at the end we will pick someone for each of the keys. Right? Let's do that. Let's do that.
Would it work if they type them both in the same message, or would you recommend two separate messages?
That's completely fine, right?
Did we say hashtag Canada?
Yes. Hashtag Balkan and hashtag Canada. You said.
Is that fine, Mandelsoft? If it's in one message, or should it be in separate messages? Oh man, we are so well.
Yeah, I can work it out. I can just abuse
Alright.
Excel with this.
Alright, I'm quickly going to type it in the chat so people can read it back, because, oh man, this was probably... Oh, look there. Somebody already typed it, thank you. I have no idea who from the ProMods channel did it, but hashtag Balkan.
Oh, it's just
Exactly. Hashtag Balkan for the Balkan West DLC, and hashtag Canada for ATS, plus all DLCs required for Canada DLC. And it's not that you can win both, right? You can either win one of the two, but if you want to be part of both of them, then just make sure that you enter in for both. If you want one of the two, and that's it. And I will still stress it out. Right now, there's a Steam sale going on, so if you don't win it, but you do want to enjoy some of these parts, right now the games are on sale, and like I just had a quick check, it's 70% off for the DLCs required for Canada, and the base game itself is like $5. So I think for like 12-13 euros, or dollars, I'm not sure what my Steam was set to, you are ready to enjoy Canada. So
And I will remove double entries, so if you put in multiple entries, you will only get one chance to win.
Very nice. Just insane how many are still flowing in, slowly trickling in.
yeah, man, like 300 trucks in one big line, that just creates such a big jam. And
What about 120, 130 here so far? How much time are we giving for this? Because it's technically a double giveaway, so... Another 5 minutes? 5-10?
Yeah, I think showing the work.
Let's show the work while this trickles on, and then remind them a few times. And once we've shown that, we will pick a winner.
Okay.
And then I guess we are
All right.
close to the end.
Whose picture's next?
And please don't keep on putting a text in again and again. I will filter those out. I will. You only get one. You can only get one entry.
Is G-Race here?
Yeah,
I am, of course.
Ooh.
Ukraine.
Yeah, if you
All right.
please open the folder, yeah.
Slideshow through these as well, or have you got a bit on each picture?
Yeah, I'll better go explain each one in detail.
Okay.
But fast, of course, so I won't take a lot.
Yeah,
of
you
time.
tell me when to swap, and then feel free.
All right. Okay, so this one, you start from the end. It looks like. Okay, so these are the newest ones. I mean, I can say the exact location. It's actually close to Lutsk area. It means that I'm expanding that area a bit. Of course, closer to Rivne city. And this is basically one roundabout which separates the roads which go from Lutsk to Rivne, and from Lutsk to southern part to another city named Dubno. If you can scroll next. You can go to the next one. Wait. Maybe the stream is like...
Krillex, could you share screen in our Discord, because the stream has a bit of delay and we can't
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, okay.
I don't know if I'm able to
I
do
just don't
both
know
at the same
which
time. If I go from number 1 and then upwards, the picture numbers.
Oh, this one.
Because this is number
There
10.
you go.
If you want it.
Yeah, this one is number 10, exactly. Okay, anyway, it's fine. So, some of these pictures have already been shown on Discord, most of them. That's the thing. The thing is that I didn't really do much in the last few weeks because I did some other project, which is also gonna be released with a new version. Some of you may know which one is this. And so basically, yeah, just some signs here, some forest. You can go next one.
Going down number 9. Nice countryside.
Yeah. Yeah, so this one is some village on the road to Rivne from another city called Sarny. So, yeah, just some nice countryside, some nice fields. you can just actually swipe all of them quickly because there's really nothing else to talk about. Just fields,
Looks really nice.
nice Ukrainian landscapes. Thank you. And of course, I'm always paying attention to small details, signs too. Well, I mean, it's probably my mapping style because I'm always trying to place a lot of small details in a relatively small and short roads. Because I'm doing this since Moldova. Because Moldova is a small country, you have to like place everything precisely and try to make it an exciting road. And also, this one on the picture is some custom company in Sarny. And this is also some in the city pictures, showing some signs, a lot of buildings. Yeah.
Do we know what the name translates to of that industry? If it does.
This one, the industry actually it literally translates as new post. That right one is basically like a company, a really popular one in Ukraine, which delivers some deliveries, right? Some posts and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's, if we started from the end, going back to the beginning, I think that's all of the pictures.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed. And all of that is coming soon, I hope. I just have to...
Soon, TM.
Yeah.
Right.
I just have
Who's
to
next?
get more time.
Maybe Quixie.
Yes, I'm next, so...
Okay, shall I go from last or from the first one?
It doesn't really matter, you can just slowly scroll through them.
Oh, okay.
All of these pictures show pretty much the same location, so all I will say will apply to pretty much all of the pictures.
Alright, feel free.
So what we are looking at right now is my latest project. It is the highway intersection of the D5 highway and the State Road 27 in the Czech Republic. It's actually located southwestern of Plzeň, which is a city located in the western part of Czech Republic. And if it doesn't really ring a bell, you might know it under its German name. In German, the city is called Pilsen. And this city is the place where Pilsner beer comes from. And since this is like a really famous thing even in the world, I decided to also include the famous brewery in the city, but I don't have the pictures yet because that's something that I haven't started working on. Pretty much what we are looking at right now is the first completed area of my project, and the rest is still pretty much heavy work in progress. And I don't know what more I can say to it about it.
That looks really good. I'm just looking at the scenery as well.
Yeah, the sunset screenshot. I really
that
like
first one. Yeah, that's very nice. All right.
I mean, currently the road leading south of this place to the German border is already in game. It was rebuilt, I don't know, some 2 years ago by our former developer EG. But this intersection currently in game is the old prefab interchange. It has nothing to do with reality. So I put a lot of effort into this, trying to make it as realistic as possible.
I think it's worth mentioning the default prefabs. So like I don't know how many variants there were that were in the base map previously, like just the only junctions that existed. So the Cloverleaf and the Trumpet, and they were awful, and they existed all over the map. And I think that was always one of the biggest eyesores in the early game. Just same junctions everywhere. And obviously that's changed completely now.
Yeah, the Trumpet one. I think that's the one that's still there to this day. So this Cloverleaf will replace it, hopefully, in not that distant future, but this is definitely not coming in the next or the version after 2.66 because I'm still at the beginning of the project. So I think it will still take at least a year to finish it. But I think it's gonna be worth it.
Sounds like a year. That sounds like it. Interesting.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. I mean, if we've already talked about it before, as the quality standard goes up, it also takes much more time to actually finish a city. So you can easily spend hundreds of hours building one city.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think maybe if Mandelsoft, if we close the giveaway now, and while Mandelsoft collects like the winners, we can maybe like look at some of the Paris work, maybe, because I know Sam can't make it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have I've got all the people in there, and just need to
Or maybe Ping Yong
separate the Balkan and the Canada winners from each other.
So unfortunately, I don't know a huge amount, but I know that Sam has been working on the project for a very long time, rebuilding Paris, which is very, very, very big city in the game.
Ooh, okay.
So you can probably show a few pictures of that. Unfortunately, Sam could make it today, but it's been going on for, I think it's the project he came into the team with. He was already working on it back then. I remember when I first spoke. I don't know if it was on the community server or so, but he was like working on Paris back then already. I know that was like the very first work he did, and he did pretty quickly. He's done little bits around Paris already, so I think I can't remember the name of the city to the north. Mandelsoft might know. I think Mandelsoft's doing something else. Yes, so he's done that, which I guess you could say is kind of the outer suburbs of Paris already. If I'm correct.
Yeah.
So he's like.
That's not actually the outer suburbs, but Valenciennes is near the Belgian border.
Oh right, yeah. I mean,
he also did a complete rebuild of the. Actually continued on Brix's work with the continuing work on the Eurotunnel. So with the whole new Eurotunnel terminal. And that's also big. So a lot of areas north of Paris have been reworked.
Yeah, so you need to Sam has done most of the recent work on France. He's done a huge amount of work on France. He's done bits in like some country areas, covering the name towards the west, I think, on the west coast somewhere. And this is like his latest project here, Paris, which is obviously going to be very big.
I really like that one of the small streets there. It's quite a nice one.
Yeah. And obviously landmarks, you know?
Reminds me of going through part of London, I think there were some small roads there.
Yeah, I mean, London is just another one of those massive cities which took years to make.
Awesome.
I think, I don't know if Kim Jong-un is still here or... unless Mandelsoft is the winners now.
Yes, we have, we have 16 people who have posted hashtag Canada and 26 who posted hashtag Balkan. So, let's see who are our winners.
Drum roll.
So, for the Balkan, it was number 26 out of 26, which is Tom Munden. Congratulations, Tom Munden. Okay, I'm just putting in the chat. Congrats. No, not Tom London, no, Tom Munden.
Oh, Munden, sorry.
Be very careful.
Tom London, yeah.
And now, I mean, it's a random number generator, and you, from 1 to 26, and then you can get 26 out of that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be random. And for the Canada, I get number 2, which is Bad Light Gaming. Thank you. Congratulations with that.
GG's.
Yeah, GG indeed.
Yeah, for the Balkan DLC, whenever that comes out, they'll be able to get that. And then anything they require for ProMods Canada. Yeah.
Oh man, I wanted to say, I said like 3 times congratulations, but I didn't notice that I muted myself. So,
I was
again,
wondering, you've got very quiet.
oh yeah, but EDM Zone already contacted me. We already got him hooked up with Oklahoma DLC, so I hope he received his gift now. So and he can start enjoying it. So that's.
And for Bad Light and Tom Munden, contact on Modmail or like message us here, and we'll try to get into contact with you.
Exactly. Try to contact us. We got your name, like the for the YouTube giveaways. We got your name, your YouTube name. So once we verify that you are the person that you're claiming to be, we can give away those immediately. And then for the guys that won of the Truckers MP competition, while we know your Trucker MP names, get in touch with us. We can verify that you are, and we get that sorted out. And with the VTCs, of course, you guys have to decide who's going to be the winner. I hope you guys can figure that out yourself. And then please contact me or Mandelsoft or Modmail, and we get that sorted out as well. And well, EDM Zone, he was just really, really quick, so he can even enjoy it tonight already.
Oh, the World of Trucks event is still going on, so maybe they're excited to do that.
Yeah, that's actually a good. That's a good one that you mentioned.
Cruising Oklahoma.
Exactly.
I think we still have a few image galleries left.
Yes. Who's next?
Let's see. I don't know if is there anyone here who's. I think Stefan. He didn't send me pictures, but
Yes,
he's
but
interested.
I would like to do it like at the end, because I'm still about to take some pictures with Bucharest too, and like someone else before me, I guess.
Yeah, so just say like a folder to crew, and then we see.
Yeah, we still have Pim Jamoon to do, and
Yeah. Should we begin with Scan? Because Scan is definitely not here. Maybe Pim John comes back.
Scans
still
the
here.
regular folder, let's say.
Yeah, the regular folder.
Yeah, the regular one. I also see, I just saw on Twitch, there's a few people actually streaming the Convoy themselves as well, which is really nice. So
Awesome. All right, if you want to go over these.
I don't know if Scan's still in chat, but if not, I will probably have to. I don't know if someone is. Well, I did actually. Well, actually, I did, this is Potsdam. So actually, I did do some small pieces of work on Potsdam myself quite a long time ago now, which is crazy because it's just such a massive project. I mean, for now the map is secret, but it's the footprint of the city is just gigantic. So some really nice areas. There's quite a few different roads. Like it's a mega city basically. ProMods, you can see there's a nice gas station there, I guess. I think that's the highway which goes east-west, some of these pictures, and there's like a bypass which goes around as well. I don't know how far, I don't know if Mandelsoft maybe knows a bit more. Kind of, it has been progressing gradually. It's not fast.
Yeah, it's not fast, and it's already years of work, and some of the work that has been done in the past has already been flipped over and done again because it was got outdated.
Yeah, so that was the big work. I remember there's a lot of bits that I worked on, bits that had been like refreshed and redone because they were just I should give credit to Higso. I think Higso started the project. I don't know how many people have worked on it. It's been it's a massive project.
And it's also a game.
Yeah, but now it seems to have gained like speed again, even though it's gradually progressing. I think it's not fast, but it's not like standstill at the moment either. I think the flat landscape was also quite challenging because the landscape is very flat there, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. With hills, it's much easier to divide your work in a way. You can use like optimize. It's easier to optimize generally when you have some hills or mountains, even though there's other challenges with that. But when it's a flat landscape, it's actually quite difficult to like try to optimize and yeah. Because I mean, when you map from the player's perspective, so that's the way you map and keep stuff optimized. But if you have like player looking from multiple sides because of the way the roads are laid out, it's quite difficult.
Very nice.
Someone's actually asking, maybe, I don't know if Nico's here.
Yeah.
Someone's asking about ProMods Canada. I don't know if you could give like a short update on that.
All right. I mean, like we posted, of course, the blog post a few weeks ago, I want to say. Yeah, at least we posted a new blog post. So basically the deal with Canada is we are like the 1.4.8, the 1.48 from SCS came a little bit more quicker than we anticipated for, as usual. Right now, we are, as we wrote in the post, we are mostly focusing on trying to go both towards the east, of course, towards Alberta, but we also have projects all the way up in the north and projects around Victoria and the Vancouver Island. I guess we have one city ready very soon, which just adds a small connection. It's a small connection on the Highway 3 that takes you a bit further eastwards. Main issue just keeps remaining, of course, the time constraints here. The pace is not that high, but at least the map is not that big, so we can update it really easily and quickly. So
and I guess if you're interested in mapping for Canada, it's like a really good place to if you're like a ATS developer or like enjoy mapping, show your work on the forums or on the academy.
Exactly, especially for Canada, we're always looking for new people. There's a lot to do there. Canada is huge. But even internally in the team, I'm always like to guys like, oh, don't you want to help out with Canada, especially because your work will be around for quite a while. So, but yeah, like the main focus right now is trying to work a bit more towards the east and the Vancouver Island. I think those are the two ones that are quick towards being added, and then we have some work further up in the north. We are still deciding if we want to connect that to the rest via a ferry connection or not, but that's we have to think about that. I hope that's good enough. That's a good enough update. I know it's a bit disappointing that we cannot release as much content as we want, but that's sadly the reality.
At least there are things in the works, which is very nice to look forward to.
Yeah. I mean, like with Canada, it's like we got so many nice starting projects. Like we got some amazing scenery already done in Alberta. We already made a start with the ring roads of Calgary, which is going to be like a massive city, just like Vancouver area is. We got like so many ideas. I mean, it would be nice if like the day had like 4 more hours which we could spend on ProMods, but I mean, sadly, that's just not the reality right now. And I mean, like me personally, I had some time and like some struggle in the last few months to try to get everything together time-wise, but I really hope that in the next months I can also spend a bit more time on the project. And I saw that Briggs was also doing some things again, so that's like great. But as said, like college season is starting again. It's everybody is moving on to new things in life. It's always hard to manage those, but our goal is to keep working on Canada, but the updates are just not as big as we want them to be.
Good things take time.
Exactly.
And to those who are patient, and you feel more freedom, I suppose, with Canada as well, because it doesn't previously exist, does it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, I would say, because there's a little bit less pressure in that regard.
I think the quality thing is also nice, because I think like the quality standard has kind of like flatline now. It's not like going up as much as it used to, so the quality stays consistent across the map more than like with ETS 2, where you can have the really old areas and the really new, and you like really notice the difference going between them. With Canada, it's like it's far more consistent. You don't really notice so much. Like the old stuff doesn't age as badly, or even at all, really.
Yeah, it's all at the same stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we have one more folder, and then Stefan's work, if we wish to do that. Unless there's any other giveaway bits you want to do, or any other things to mention in between.
Let's continue.
So Pimjong, I have Pimjong Un is here.
I'm still here.
Yeah. So if you want to show your like Amsterdam work.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we were going to go through that. Okay. All right. So if you want me to scroll through, or you want to each image, that's up to you.
Just start with the first. I'll just click through them. I'll talk about it.
Okay.
So the first picture, it's the downtown Amsterdam city center. So over here is an area called the it's called Haarlemmerbuurt in Amsterdam. It's going to be part of a secret area. This is not Amsterdam himself. The second picture.
Yep. With a plane
So
in the
the
background.
second picture is sorry.
The plane in the background. Very nice.
Yeah, that's landing in Schiphol, the distance. So yeah, the Amsterdam Center will be part of a secret road that you will have to find. So this is part of IJmuiden, which is a ferry port close to Amsterdam, which will be completely rebuilt.
Third one.
So yeah, it's really difficult to make the Dutch psychopaths fit here.
Very red.
No support for that at all, so I had to custom make that all by hand.
You can tell the city
yeah,
is
this is,
bigger than the standard one. You're expanding it quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to fit as much as I can. It's quite difficult because Netherlands is quite small, especially on the scale of the game. So it's very hard to fit everything I wanted to fit in. I had to make some hard choices what I wanted to represent and what I
the skill's brutal.
Yeah. So I'm trying my best here. So this is the area where we will pick up deliveries in Amsterdam. It's an area called Amsterdam Westpoort, which is mostly an industrial area. It's a nice view of the Schiphol airport.
That looks
which
really
you will
nice.
be driving past.
Oh yeah. Then next one.
Was that all? Or?
Westport again. Almost looks like the road leading down to Europort, the single road with the wind turbines near it.
Oh yeah, that was my previous previous project. So this is between Amsterdam and IJmuiden. It's leading up to the Westport area.
And then back in the city for another one. Or a different city.
It's a bit of a delay, the stream. Oh yeah, no, this is still Amsterdam. This is the Zuidas, a commercial area on the A10 ring of Amsterdam.
And then that's all the pictures.
So,
awesome.
But yeah, someone asks how far are we progressed with it?
I don't know. I still have a lot of time and effort to I need to put into this before it's ready. So it's not going to be the next update. Probably the next.
No, it's not going to be 2.66 because
no.
We are now testing it and it's let's say content ready, but still when it's content ready doesn't mean that it's ready for our release because it can have a lot of bugs. But it is not in it.
No, I still need some some areas to work on here.
Yeah, and it probably needs a lot of tweaking.
Yeah.
They'll have to keep an eye out. Awesome. Alright.
Alright.
Only one for the left, technically.
Technically. I don't know if Stefan. I think just on
I am right now uploading my photos, which will not take much, and I will send you a mega link if that's okay with you, Corlex.
Yes.
Okay, it won't take long. I will send you the link right away in the stream chat.
I think on the side while we wait for that, I think it's worth mentioning the intro. I don't know if many people have noticed it. It's probably one of the most impressive things I've seen done in the game. I don't know if Nico or someone can explain a bit further what it was about.
I think that was something that the internet bricks it down made.
Yeah, exactly. So he put some crazy effort into that intro. It was like a evolution, and I still don't completely understand how he made it, but it was a stop motion in a way. Kind of one scene evolving. We'll make sure, hopefully, to publish that video and play it again. It was probably one of the most creative things I've seen done in the game.
Looks really nice with the transitions in the same scene, as if it's like seasons or different elements phasing between each other.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the evolution. Like it begins with like the very old style of mapping, and then it gradually changes and becomes more like kind of what it is now. But it's always the same location, so it kind of changes it in the times. You can see how the quality's changed over time.
So maybe something to upload on our YouTube channel.
Oh, 100%. I have no idea how he did it with the smooth. He said something about like editing the videos together, but it is very impressive how he did it.
Yes.
Yeah, you should do that.
I think he spent 5 or 6 hours a day working on that, and then also he did it like that's crazy.
It's crazy. Just how much he did build, and I've seen some screenshots, and we actually didn't see the first part of this thing, because the first part we actually seen was with Scandinavian assets, but that's what we've seen on the stream. But before that, he had a really basic map with just all vanilla assets, so with old road texture and just bare landscape.
Krulix, I sent you the mega folder if you can access it.
We try and download that.
It's also worth mentioning with Crew, he's done like a huge, not Crew, sorry, Bricks, he's done a huge amount of work in like the UK and Canada, so like a lot of the Wales work, or most of the Wales work, and large portions of like Canada, especially like around, I think, was it Salmon? I think it was called Salmon. I can't remember the net town. He did a lot of the country areas there, quite a few towns along that, and some stuff in northern England as well. And he's always very creative with his mapping. He makes his own assets with like little blocks and combining different assets together. So. And he also has a YouTube channel where he published quite a few of his progression videos from back in time. So definitely Salmon Arm, that's what it's called. It's definitely worth watching that and seeing some of his work in the past.
Okay. Here we are, the pictures. Some of those look very interesting off the bat. Just from the thumbnails. Okay, so do you want to go through each picture or a screenshot? Slideshow thing.
Yeah, I think through each picture, like to explain a bit each one would be nice.
Okay, from number 1 then.
Yeah, from number, if you can take them like 1 to 13, like.
Yes.
Okay.
Shame about the delay, but.
Yeah, it's alright. Okay, so once again, guys, my name is Stefan. I am a developer of ProMods Romania since May, and this is my former project, the Rebuild project, which will be integrated in the next ProMods version. It consists in 2 new areas in Romania. In this first picture, we have the city of Codlea, which is the first city next to Brașov, if you know it, in Romania. It's a pretty nice city, I'd say. Like I made it a bit too scenery with like only one company, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go to the next one, please, Krulix.
Yeah, I have to do each one, so.
I'm very hyped.
Here we are. Next one.
Okay, let me see 1 second. I think I will have to put like next so that I. Okay, the next one. Okay, this is the village of Vladeni. It's not anything special. It's a city like village, the next one after Kodlea, worth mentioning. Next one, it's in case you show it, because like
That
I
is
have
an
a bit
amazing screenshot.
Thank you. It's heavily edited, but the content it's still there. Only the coloring being different. This is a unique company in Sibiu, the Sibiu International Airport, which will be fully accessible to the players. Like you can even, I don't know, do races on the future Trackers MP updates on the runway and so on. Okay, moving on. This is again the Sibiu Airport. It's parking lot, basically where you will have access to the company and so on. There are 3 entrances, 1 main and 2 secret roads. Nothing much special about it, just that it took me like 2 weeks to do the full details to the parking lot and the entire airport.
2 secret roads.
Next.
Interesting.
Yes. And the next picture, it's the Sibiu City Center. Another project I worked a lot. It didn't take much time. I actually did it in like 3 days of non-stop development because I was that committed to it. I just loved doing it. To be honest, the work I'm impressed the most, like my own work. And yeah, it will also be drivable to the players. Next picture, it's a truck stop at the exit of Sibiu, which is again fully accessible, with a service center, which is at the tire shop in the right corner. It's not seen because I think I had the minicons disabled, but yeah, there's a service, gas station, and a KFC too, but it doesn't really show in here.
Oh.
Okay, moving on. This is a new roundabout made 1 year ago, like in real life, at the exit of Sibiu, which is like connected to the A1 highway, which got extended by 20 more kilometers. Its idea being like to connect Sibiu and Pitești between the two, like replacing national roads with highway, and they did that by only 20 kilometers. Next screenshot, it's from the second area that I've been working on, and it's finished thanks to Mandelsov's help, which I can't stress enough how much he helped me with this. It's the Danube suspension bridge in Brăila, Galați.
Oh yeah, there we are. Sorry.
Okay.
Continue.
It's alright. Yeah, so this is basically the longest suspension bridge longest ever bridge made in Romania, and I think the second biggest on the Danube or something like that. I'm not really sure. It has a total length of 2,000 meters, 2,010, something like that, and a toll at the entrance. And if you, oh no, it's okay, leave it like this. And it also has an expressway leading for like 30 kilometers or something to a village called Jijila. Okay, moving on.
Yep,
This is a village I really loved working on, called Garvan. It's not a big village. You can like swap between this screenshot and the next one because they are the same village. It's I'd say pretty scenic village with lots of details from my point of view. I love doing it. Yeah, I also make the small stop where you can like make screenshots with the village's market. And moving to the other ones, if it's okay.
Yep.
All right. The next screenshot is once again from CBU. It's a roundabout I've working on a lot in 2021. It's a custom one, I'd say, with viewpoint 2. And the next one, it's once again the Danube suspension bridge, if you got it.
Yes, it's huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's once again we're mentioning with the help of Mandelsoft. In case you really remember, like back in February, you helped me with the roundabout Mandelsoft. Not sure. Okay.
If I may,
Yeah.
on the lower part of that image, is that going to be like a secret road where it's near the loop?
Sorry?
Looks like a kind of secret road you can drive on near the bottom.
At the bottom, it's not that secret, like it's not meant to be a kind of secret road because it leads to the construction site.
Oh.
But yeah, it can be accessible. I don't really like putting barriers and blocking people from the other roads.
Yeah.
And moving on, this is the last screenshot. There is such a ferry boat in the secondary area near Tulcea, which who knows in the future may be actually like useful to the Ukraine road to Odessa. I don't know. We don't really have plans about it right now. So this was pretty much my work in Romania. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you. That looks lovely.
From the chat, I really want to thank DNS for the kind words. He's been on the previous streams before, and yeah, I really appreciate it.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like what you did there. Those are some nice additions. I mean, you didn't show it really yet, but I cannot wait for the palace to come back.
I'm actually curious to the chat. What are you guys thoughts of like us sharing work like this on like a stream? It's like I don't think we've ever done it like this before, right?
No, not really.
It's a bit of a different, especially as like the developers can like talk about it a bit and like explain kind of everything around the areas. A bit different way of doing it.
Kind of builds up a bit of hype and interest in a way, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different way than us just like posting them, which obviously if you've done already, like follow like a Twitter, well, I don't know if it's well, we'll call it Twitter, like the community server and so on. Like we regularly post progress updates there. And I remember in the past it was all done on the forum, so it was always in the forum threads. I don't know how many developers still post there, but you used to always post the progress on those forum threads, and that's where people would keep track of the updates.
Yeah, having it this way is much easier. And I suppose each time they explain the images as well, you can see how much work actually goes into it.
Yeah, it's
I think as either Stefan or someone else said, one of the car parks took 2 weeks, so...
Yeah,
that's
some
insane.
like little details just takes like huge amount of time. Just making sure like everything's like looks right, and so like it's time consuming. I think the learning curve is steep initially, and then it's not too bad, but the bit's just time consuming really.
Right, we have one folder left.
One folder, oh we do?
An interesting one. I don't know if you want to give any description
the
about
teaser.
it, or... Yes.
Which one is the teaser one? Oh yeah, we can do that one again. I think we did that at the start.
Not on the stream.
Oh, scan to 720 teaser.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can. All right then. Yeah, we can do that one again. Oh, well, not again. Well,
If you want to go through the images, we can do that. If you want to describe anything, or just leave it up to the chat, maybe.
Yeah, it's up to the chat. I mean, it's scans. Well, it's not just scan. I don't know how many people are involved. I think Mandelsoft. It's a lot of people involved in this project. It's quite a big one.
Requires some careful eyes, maybe, looking around.
The techniques for making this has been unlike anything we've done before in a way, I guess. A lot of the work has been different to what would usually be done. So quite iterative. Now someone says, this is Barcelona.
And the first one, yeah, possibly. Would be.
Possibly. It could be. I don't know. It's same person. He says this is Sweden and this is Italy.
Yeah. And then last one. That sign is a bit
Germany.
blurry in the... Yeah,
I mean,
you can kind of see some of the signs, but...
But what we see here is what we did is harder than it looks. And at some points it was a bit of a nightmare.
Is that bridge drivable in the background? On the last picture?
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh.
Be something to look out for. It's quite a unusual. It's actually that's the only thing I will say. I don't want to say too much because it's meant to be quite secret, but it is quite unusual.
There's a lot in that image. I'm just looking at it.
Oh, I'll stop myself before I say too much.
Well, I mean, on that note, is there either to do with any of these or anything else that you wish to before we start wrapping up? Anything to add?
I think I did ask Skull if he wants to. I think Skull is pretty busy, but maybe it's like morning now, so maybe he wants to pop his head in. But I think he's really busy now. I guess that's it then. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Maybe we can play the bricks video on the outro. I guess it'd be quite nice.
Could I would
I'll
need
make sure to publish that.
Set that up, yeah.
Oh, okay. If it's too much, that's fine then.
I think let them. Well, they can rewatch after the stream has ended as well. They
Yeah.
Check it out.
So, I guess just thank you again to the Svartwolf who organized the event on the TMP side, all the TMP's event staff, the 10 to 20 people, the event management, everyone who came, everyone who was in the stream as well, everyone like all the devs and so on who came. 10 years. It's quite a...
Flew by.
Also, thank you again, crew, for
No problem.
Yeah,
You're
definitely,
welcome.
crew.
hosting it.
I hope I
Yes.
did all right.
Really.
Hope chat will confirm if I did all right or not. Big fan.
We'd have you on there again in the future. We have to do this more regularly.
For 20 years, yeah?
20
20
years.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like how we each time when we did a stream, we were like, oh, this was so much fun. Let's do it more often. And then 1 year later, we are like, oh, let's do it now.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
I know. I think we forgot the 9th anniversary. I don't think we did anything for that at all. We didn't post anything like we completely forgot. And then there's like 10 years. It's like significant.
Yeah, 10 has to be done.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. We went to Prague.
Oh, yeah. I guess you could say.
I mean, we did it a little bit before, but last year we did the real life meetup again. Yeah, that was nice. One of the other benefits of being part of ProMods, I guess. I mean, not that we paid for everybody's trip, but we had like a nice dinner together.
Yeah, the funny fact was it was actually planned earlier.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
2020. We planned it in 2020. Oh my god, that was such a horrible year. Let's not talk about 2020.
That's actually but on the other hand, it came early, and the whole notification came early enough before we actually got anything planned yet. So
That's true. Yeah.
Folks, we'll see you on the podcast next week.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Let's see. Anyways, I guess it's now time to wrap it up.
Definitely.
The first people are starting to contact us for their prizes, and the first 2 people already got their prize, so that's great.
Yeah, if anyone else hasn't, at best via the Discord and the mod mail that you have. And then you can sort it out from there, yeah.
Mod mail is the easiest because then everybody has access to it, but otherwise just try to reach somebody from ProMods. I mean, I see that a lot of the guys are like, oh, they immediately already send proof, like I'm this guy and I'm that guy. I mean, I trust that these guys in the community are like decent people, so we get this figured out. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in and for participating in the chat, for participating in the.
It's not the end of the celebrations, is it?
I don't know, it's definitely not the end of the celebrations. I guess that the rest of the year we are still in a bit of a celebration mode, but I mean, just thinking about that, like 10 years ago we started this, and now we are at this point. That's like crazy. I see that Tom is asking who was the winner of the best public truck. I mean, there were 2 winners. One was Ghosty, best looking truck for the VTC category, and Dot was the winner for the best.
Oh yeah, the name was
public
similar.
category. So, yeah. I guess like if we cannot find or if the winners don't reach out, then we might do like another giveaway in the coming weeks on Discord or something like that. So make sure that you join our Discord server, the ProMods community server.
Oh yeah, and there's one milestone. I know it's a bit late to mention this, but Nathan did mention we have hit 2 million. He said 2 million full members. We actually have hit. That's what a milestone as well.
Jeez, that is good. Got to think of some way to celebrate that now, don't you? But that's up to you.
Yeah, it's good timing.
Each day we can think
Another
of
convoy,
something to. Yeah. Another
That's not a convoy excuse.
Every single thing, Convoy won it.
Yeah, exactly. After a while, Truckers MP is going to be annoyed that that we celebrate so much that we have daily convoys.
Oh. Yeah, so
All
with all the other screenshots that people might have been interested in, if you stay tuned for the socials, yeah, or of any other teasers that may come up, any more pictures from any of those areas, of course.
Oh, regularly.
Exactly, especially the Discord is probably the best place to
Yeah.
interact most directly with us, but of course the other socials. I mean, we are not always that active on YouTube, but of course we post our teasers there, and on Facebook, etc. We sometimes post updates on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
Instagram.
Depends on what week we live for Elon Musk, what the company is called, I guess. But there, of course, we also post updates. But yeah, if you want to have the most direct interaction, can be found on our Discord server. And also for people who are like inspired by this whole project and want to try things out. I mean, our Discord is a good place to learn things. We got lots of smart people there together who can get you to the next level. I mean, we can teach each other so many things. So.
Well, you teach us something. I don't know.
Me?
I don't know. Maybe someone decides to teach you some mapping, something you.
Oh,
you.
like that.
Well, it could be like the
I
OG
mean,
time, yeah, if they complain and then they get picked up on it. How about that?
Oh man, I have to say that like when I look at some of you like the other developers mapping, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could do that, but I mean
Getting old.
You just no, I don't want to say getting old, but you notice that once you get a bit out of the running, then it's sometimes a bit harder to get back into it again. On the other hand, I noticed that I still can bring some things. So like when it comes to fixing bugs, I've realized that my 10 years experience is starting to help out identifying issues quickly. Anyways, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, thank
because
you,
for me it's getting late as well, and tomorrow of course I have my normal job again waiting for me. So
Oh, that's all right. Well, we've been live for quite a while. The convoy was very successful, apart from a few little lag issues, but that's all right.
Yeah, and the stream went quite well as well, considering we are, except for Crew, of course. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Definitely follow Crewlex on his Twitch as well.
You want to check me out? Twitch.tv/Crewlex.
yeah, let's put a link to that as well in the chat. That's
very nice. Big fan.
Yeah.
No, but I was happy to do this. Thank you for allowing me to and requesting me to, of course. Right. Any final words?
Relax. Can I ask you something?
Maybe. Yes.
What did you like? I don't know. What university did you like follow that you're like have such a I don't know like such a vibe, like good vibe, you know? I don't know what to explain it like. Like the social skills. How did you do that?
I've been streaming for 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know how much. I think it's just something you pick up over time, and maybe with the watching other streamers and watching other things, you pick that up as well. Say if you like a particular person, you maybe try and replicate how they act or how they speak, something like that. Yeah, a fair few people comment on the voice, and that's quite nice to hear. So,
thank you.
That's a deep question, man.
Yeah, it is. Everyone's different. It's fun. Everyone's different. You learn at your own
I like it.
stage in life. You pick up various things. All right.
Any final words? Someone in the chat, any final words? Well, we ain't seen that guy again.
Yeah, it wasn't meant that dark. All right.
Yeah, I kind of realized that after I said it, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's fine.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Last watch
thank
of
you
the stream.
everyone. Perfectly on
Right.
10 o'clock here. So.
Oh yeah, true. Or okay.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you.
With that, have a good evening, peoples. And whatever ProMods is doing next, tune in for that.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you all later.
See ya.